Bonjour, everyone. Welcome back to True Footy Live for season 2024. Sort of. Still in the pre-season, but for all intents and purposes, football is back. And I'm excited. We're about 2 minutes in kicking off the KO coverage starting, which is nice. And it is good to be back. Whoops, forgive me there. For anyone not aware, see there's 50 of you in the chat. Welcome. Chuck a like on the stream if you don't mind. But got an Eagles channel for anyone who... wait, I'm just going to type it in here. Anyone who's not aware, I do an Eagles channel now as well. I'm going to type it so you can find it in here. What can I say? So if I do that, then maybe I can pin it over here. And you can find it. Sorry, we'll get to the comments in a second. I'm just doing the admin side of things, but I'm very excited for today's action because we've been starved for footy, and at this point, we're all just keen to see our team play. There we go. All right, so you can see up the top right there of the chat, True Eagle, anyone who's looking for it. I will probably be doing a summary of this game on that channel. But anyway, let's crack in. So we've got... Scroll up. Riley Farmer, welcome, mate. Jay Tomo, hello. Luke. Danielle, go Eagles, I agree. Up the Eagles, absolutely. I don't know what to expect from this game. Nathan and Trisha in the chat as well. Lots of Eagles fans, which is good to see. AFL legends here. Lots of Eagles fans in the chat, which is cool. But obviously everyone is welcome. Billy75, Chook, thoughts on the previous match sim? So I haven't really caught up a lot. I've been making content and been a little bit busy. But I've caught bits and pieces, and I think it's probably more about... I'm going to do a summary video, probably maybe as soon as this game ends, about the whole week, and probably just focus more on individuals than the scores or anything like that. Wooden Spoon Data's in the chat. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Matt Flynn injured. Is that real? Yeah, we really are back, aren't we? We really are back for season 2024. And just go on the one key position defender, I think, in this game. Yeah, fingers crossed the actual stream works, as in the KO stream. G'day, Carpair, watching overseas as well. That's cool. G'day, Aiden. Rogue Wright's in the chat. Richard Hertz is in the chat. A couple of members. Shout out to you guys. Excited to watch Wet Toast finally meet their friendly... the Cock Dockers. Wow. This is a family-friendly operation. Sort of. I do break my own rule all the time. But, yeah, no, I'm just hoping for a good result. I mean, regardless of whether we're good or not, in the past, we've generally had bad preseason derbies, so I don't really know what to expect. And sometimes we go into these games... well, I have a theory. I know that this has definitely happened before. The Eagles have deliberately gone into a preseason game fatigued, and it really shows. And that was certainly obvious when we were good. Obviously, when we're bad, we look fatigued every game. Nowsh's in the chat. G'day, Sasquatch Freo as well. I just love footy. Says, how you going, mate? I'm good, thank you. I must admit, I resisted the temptation to go out. Well, I did go out last night for a couple of beers. 4 beers. Then that's a lot for a 30-year-old man. And got home by midnight in preparation for today. I was not going to risk being ruined. William Shattuck says, am I going to screen share this? No, I can't screen share this, unfortunately, because it is, well, there's copyright. So we're just going to be reacting to the game. Get out of it, Sean. I saw that coming. Family friendly. Come on, Rogie. I'm not even going to read that out. I'll tell you what. So the screen has just loaded, and Harley Reid is standing at the centre square next to Bailey Williams and Matthew Flynn. Sorry, not Matthew Flynn, and Andrew Brayshaw is what I meant to say. So we got Kelly, Reid, and Yo as the starting mix, and that is Darcy, Fife, and Sarong. So, pretty strong looking on ball rotation. It's nice to see Harley in the number 9 in his Eagles jumper. That is hot. I'm excited. That's cute, Sean. You do it one more time. I'm banning you. Nah, not really, but come on, man. Oh, I'm excited, boys. No injuries. So, somebody did say that Flynn is injured. Is that legitimate? I haven't actually even opened Instagram today. Fremantle with the clearance. KO doing that cute thing where it just turns green for a second, but it's come back. I agree, Richard. He does look good in the number 9. First time I've seen it properly, like, other than at the draft. It's but like on field in his kit. Luke says, who do I think will win and by how much? Honestly, I'd imagine Freo win this game, but we've seen all kinds of wacky results in this preseason. It doesn't mean a whole lot. We're just looking for good signs, really. Long. Ooh. Nowhere near it. Long had a bit of a long shot, as it were. Flynn hammy tendon. Oh, God. Thank you, Chris, for letting me know. Far out. That doesn't sound good. Like a tendon. It's not like a hamstring strain, an actual tendon. Fuck. I haven't heard of Gling as such. I presume it's an AI technology to do that. I just love footy. Fremantle sort of get out of trouble there. Bit of a high tackle. So pretty frenetic minute. I think the game hasn't quite settled. Tracy's marked over gaff. Well, I'm shocked. No, I'm just kidding. Getting around the boys. I'm having a positive attitude towards our players at this point in the season anyway. Chris says, oh, let's go Eagles. So we've picked a fairly experienced lineup. And Walters gets the first goal. Not a whole lot of brand new faces in this team. So Jamison, I think, Jamison's playing key back, which is an interesting one. He has played there before. He debuted there, actually. And we only have Barras as the other key back. Like, there's no Rotham, there's no McGovern, and there's no Harry Edwards, and there's no Bazzo. Wow, they're all injured. That is grim. So I'm a little bit concerned about the key back situation going into round 1. We're not well poised for... Like, if round 1 was tomorrow, we would have one key defender again. Damien's asking for the footy audio to be turned up a little. I can turn it up. Just let me know, anyone else, like, give me feedback as to whether it's too loud, not loud enough. I don't want it to be too loud, but let me know if it's annoying. Graz says my team sucks. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Good to have you. One thing can be sure, assuming Fremantle wins this, is that Fremantle fans will gloat. They will gloat. Drewzy will gloat. Who do I think is going to be best on ground? Let's go Andy Brayshaw, but for us, I don't know. It hasn't really felt like we've had the ball yet, but we've had at least 2 inside 50s. Oh, nice one, Richard. Cheers, yeah. Thanks, Rogue. I appreciate you at least subscribing. Uh-oh. So it looks like Dad's got into my KO. Hey, mate. I'm just doing a live stream, and I think when you logged into KO, it's kicked me out. Any chance you could do something about that? That was a voice note for my dad. Give me a sec, guys. Sorry. I might have to change the password on him, but it's just kicked me out because my dad's obviously logged in. Hopefully it comes back. I wonder if... Oh, it's back. Nope, it's kicked me out again. I wonder if Frederick will do backflips again. Jeez. That was the most stupid thing. I don't know. I've turned into my Eagles Nuffy mode, but I remember being like, come on, man. 7 goals up in a meaningless game at the time. Ooh. All right, cool. We're back. So Eagles best on ground. Who could that be? No one's springing to mind. Probably I don't know who our best players are, like McGovern and Yeo and stuff. Maybe Bailey Williams, I'll throw that out there. He's not our best player, but could see him doing well today. Cool. Alright, looks like the coverage is back, and Fremantle, they'll line up for a fairly easy goal. Easy shot on goal, because there was uncontested. Was that the injury derby? Yes, it was. It was when we were good for 3 quarters, had 7 injuries. Fremantle had kicked away, understandably. And, I'm not ragging on Fremantle for that, but to choose that moment to do a backflip was, annoying. And the reaction to it was cringe. I am being an Eagles nuffy, I realise that, but I still think that's dumb. Wow, Darcy has sprayed that like Daniel Busher on a Sunday morning. Yeah, thanks, Rogie. That's kind of a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it. He's asking where's Harley playing to. So at the moment, I've seen him on ball. Just a little bit early to get a feel for whether he's playing back as well. I almost certainly will be, but I've kind of just noticed him at a stoppage. G'day AFL time, good to have you. Yeah, so anyone looking for Eagles content, I will be doing a summary of this on True Eagle, which is pin. That's the pinned chat. Chris, did you delete that? What happened there? Did you delete my pinned message, Chris? That's what it... Come on, man. So 6 plays 1. I normally have the score up on the screen as well, guys, but there's... I don't think the score is anywhere. You know what I mean? It's got to be on the internet somewhere, someone displaying the score, because this is an unofficial match. I don't know if there's a live score for anything. Chris Thompson asked if I'm doing a pre-season pod with Busher. Yeah, we are. I need to do that. We'll do that this week. We're thinking of doing a... Who's kicked a goal here? Emmett? Was that a goal? He has kicked a goal. That was a good goal from Emmett, to be fair. We are thinking of doing a pre-season podcast over StreamYard or something before the season kicks off, so we will do that. Johnson has packed on a lot of size during the summer. Oh, congrats, Joycey. Is that some sort of pill you were taking? I haven't actually noticed him yet. Oh, there he is. Is that him? No, it's not. It's a little bit blurry on the screen. All right, Graz. Jeez, man. That's cool. Can people still see the pinned comment, Chris? That's all right. I can still see it. So let us know if you can still see the pinned comment. I know nobody really cares if you've already seen it, but I would like... Oh, man. Dad's done it again. Just going to load it up again. G'day, Toby. Darcy just definitely hasn't lost any size around the mud guts. Okay, so it looks like we got a shot on goal, and I missed how that happened. So Waterman's shooting from about 45. That's all good, Rogie. I actually don't know the answer is if people can still see the pinned thing. Yeah, so we'll ask about the audio. It's just because the stream itself, the KO stream, is giving me a little grief. I think my dad's watching it back in Perth. So bear with me, sorry. So I don't know the result of that shot. Oh, thanks, Richard. Thanks for letting me know. That's cool. I'll get it back up. Yeah, it's not there anymore. That's fine. I'll fix that. So Waterman's missed. That's the update. And I see Johnson might have knocked that on the full. Maybe not. Maybe it was above the knee. How's the audio now on the footy? Yeah, thanks, Rogie. I'll make another comment. He's saying that God, the Dockers look soulless out there. That's funny. Harsh. So, from what I can tell, Freo's intensity looks good. Comparatively, we look a little timid. Not like real bad, but... But it is more or less one-way traffic, which is not a huge shock at this point. This is the first competitive hit out for the year, and a lot of these players still building synergy, to use a cliche. I wouldn't expect them to just be able to click in their first competitive hit out straight off the bat. And for those asking, it's 12 to Fremantle, 2 goals straight, a 2-2 behinds at West Coast. Bit of a meaningless long kick to a contest where we're outnumbered there from Witherden. Oh. Fremantle have done a pretty good job of... Oh, here we go, Jimby. Cripps inside 50. The kick is perfect. That is a great kick to Allen, who is in the forward left pocket. Whereas this is at Mineral Resources Park, so technically an Eagles home game at their training ground, which is the same dimensions as Optus Stadium. So Allen's lining up in the pocket. 11 minutes 50 gone in the first term. Allen has literally just snuck that around the post. It was very similar to the Kennedy goal late against Richmond. I only know that because I watched it back to make that video I did a few weeks ago, where it just curled narrowly around the post. So the Eagles are on the board, 8-12. So a couple of players are saying they reckon Allen goes and improves again this year. Again, this is all pre-season fluff, but it wouldn't shock me. And good start. Come on, Rogie. This is a family-friendly environment. Oh yeah, you're a bit ahead of me. I might actually try and catch up to you. Oh, it's not letting me. Yeah, I'm just at the centre bounce now. Kelly pulled off it a little bit, and not in a good way. Yo's in there, but Fremantle managed to get it free. Young fumbles. It tumbles towards Frederick. I've noticed Frederick a few times in this game. Wonder if he'll do a backflip for his 4th possession. 39. That's right. So Cohen Livingston was picked in this game. That does surprise me a little. And that was before Flynn's injury, I think. Bit of a poor turnover there from some Eagles halfback. I agree, AFL legend. I do. That being said, obviously it hasn't been super fun over the last couple of years as an Eagles fan. Like, while there's been no expectation, there's been really no expectation. And therefore no hope. But hopefully this year is just something resembling what you're describing. Luke Edwards has done a pretty good job this pre-season as well, apparently. And not completely out of the question for a round 1 berth. The Eagles got it at half-back, sort of just chipping through at the moment. Getting a little bit of territory. Oh, thanks, Richard. That's kind of you. I like that you want to line it up. Right this second, Tim Kelly has the ball on the wing, but I'll let you know when there's a goal. Yeah, so Fremantle's defence doing a fairly good job, and we weren't able to move the ball quickly there, so we sort of reverted back to the chipping, but sometimes that's necessary. Good tackle by Hunt. One of my favourite players now, I reckon. Massive convert. on Jaden Hunt. It's not that I didn't ever like him. I just, when we recruited him, I thought that was weird. And now I'm stoked. Livingston in the ruck against Jackson. Fife wins the clearance. So a fair bit of Fife in the midfield we're going to see this year. Oh, well done, Amos. Just timed his leap nicely there. Got it on the second grab, but it was good. Is that Brody? This is like the... Oh, no, it's Emmett. Emmett, because it's slightly blurry, it kind of looks like David Mundy a tiny bit. It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how you get hit and keep moving forward. Well said, Graz. Great quote from a great film. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Emmett's lining up from about 35. Hit the post. I'm going to pin that comment again. Em's got 10 training sessions till the first game. Oh, good on you. That's exciting. So how many weeks is that? Is that like 5 weeks? Time to put in the hard yards. But good on you, Emma. Good luck. It's the receding hairline, yeah. Oh. Okay, so Clark chipped it to Walters on the wing. They were kind of out. He was in an acre of space. Witherden easily cuts it off, but doesn't mark what was a very markable ball. He just slaps it out of bounds. So I thought that was kind of weird. 8 plays 13 to Fremantle. Lot of clearances going Fremantle's way. I don't really remember too many that we've won yet. Jinby, I think that's his second. Well, I wouldn't say it was a disposal. I think he might have only had the 1 touch so far. Could be wrong. Clark sends him inside 50. Exactly, Rogie. Actually, one thing I'm going to do next week is I'm going to do a video on True Eagle called The Case for Why West Coast Will Improve. And then what I'm going to do is make a video on True Eagle called The Case Against West Coast Improving. So I'll give a balanced view. I am not Sporting Wisdom, I am here in sunny Macclesfield, UK. Good mark there from Jaden Hunt in defence. Finds Gaff at half back trying to rebound. Allen nudged a little bit under it, or he exaggerated it, not sure. No free kick paid. $39 likes, thank you guys. Anyone who hasn't liked it and is enjoying the stream, chuck a like on it, help me get to 50. 5 weeks because we train Tuesdays and Thursdays. Nice. Oh, well done, Amber. I like the dedication. Oh, no worries, Darth. Good to see you, mate. Go Eagles. I'll do a video summarising the game later on True Eagle. But thanks for stopping by. Hunt, is it? Or Waterman? It's hard to tell. Sends it inside 50. Allen is there. He does well to get 2 hands on it. I tell you what, Rawlinson. No, so Allen did well to tap the ball down to Rawlinson. Rawlinson had a bit of a shot. I think he missed right up on the boundary. But a free kick has been paid to Allen. This isn't the True Eagle channel? No. No, streaming on True Eagle today. I think I'll do all my streams on True Footy this year. 36 made me think of Connor West then, but he has now gone with He's now gone with Rawlinson taking his number. Joyce says, like how Emmett presents, seems to be good around a lot of our inside fences. Yeah, he's been prominent so far. As the Eagles... Oh, that was a goal. No, it wasn't. We're behind. My mistake. I got excited. Allen missed narrowly. Yeah, I've heard good things about Emmett and him potentially being best 22 this year. Hasn't played too much footy, obviously, but early signs are good. I'll turn it up a little bit for those asking. So Walters sends the ball inside 50 for Fremantle. Just a little bit long there for Emmett. I presume Emmett is 18. And Harley Reid is in the back line now. That is diverse, Amber. Are you West Australian? Wondering how an Eagles fan slipped in there. Bit of a scrimmage. Fife handballs off to Switkowski, who snaps. Good shot. Good player. So, that's a goal to Fremantle. It is 9 plays 19. Harley Reid hype. Yeah, hasn't really featured yet. Harley Reid. As in, was it the first stoppage? He's at the back of the contest there, but so he's on the field, but hasn't really done much. 5 years 60 beats. Why must you tempt me to pick him in my Supercoach team? I think Fife's going to have a good year. I just don't know if he'll be high volume, so I don't know if he'd necessarily be a good Supercoach pick, but maybe he's like a impact midfielder. I don't know. It's just because he's like 33 this year. Depends what he's priced at, to be fair. I don't know what he's priced at. So maybe he's actually a really good option if he's mid-priced. Harley Reid's handball will be in the back page, yeah. No doubt. Cole does well on Walters. There he is, Harley Reid. Bit of run and carry. Good pass too. He's a good kick and executed that well. Nicely done, Harley. There's going to be so much attention on every Harley Reid possession. Emmett playing high up the ground now. Almost at the back of the centre square for Fremantle there. The score is 9 to West Coast, 19 to Fremantle. Get out of it, Graz. The handball started a legacy. That's a Jagger Skillbeck video. If we win a premiership, the handball that started a dynasty. Bally says, who's good today? It's a little bit hard without stats, really, but like, who have I noticed? It still feels early. I'd say Tom Emmett, I've noticed for them. I've noticed Walters a little bit. I've noticed Jordan Clark a little bit. And Frederick a little bit. But I don't know. I think the midfielders in general, Fremantle, are winning most clearances. For us, Jaden Hunt has done a couple of good things. Oh, well done, Kelly. Intercepted, but then fumbled himself. Here we go. Nope. Ball's inside 50 for West Coast. It's a bit of a tussle to get clean hands on the footy. Fremantle might mop up here, but Waterman probably threw that. And it looks like... No, Fremantle clear through Sarong. Price to 51 points. Gotcha. Jaden Hunt collects, sends the ball inside 50. Not to anyone's advantage, but Cripps forces the ball down. Why am I tense? This doesn't matter. Jeez, Emmett has been very prominent, and with a long kick, he finds it uncontested. Walters. Carper says, Hunt for runner-up, best and fairest. Yeah, I see it. He says that's why if Harley has an okay season, he's winning the Rising Star. I don't know if that would be true. I think Riley Sanders could win it. But yeah, McKercher, Sanders, and Reed. Um, Probably my three most likely at this point. Sounds like Nick Watson played deep forward. This is as Walters is lining up at the 25-minute mark. That must be quarter time. But he's kicked for goal. So score kind of reflects how the game's gone so far. 25-9, Fremantle's way. Yo's currently in my fantasy team, which is another pick I can sense will blow up my face. The thing that works for that is that he probably will be playing as much midfield as he can, as opposed to previous seasons. He's actually had a pretty full preseason. The question mark is whether his soft tissue injuries stop. But I suppose in Supercoach you can just trade him out. I know it's not ideal, but yeah, for his price, I presume his price isn't high. He could be a good value on. 47 likes, guys. Let's get to 50, if you don't mind. As we see Livingston in the ruck with Yo, Petrocelli, and Kelly this time. It's not quarter time. We are playing on. Another clearance for Fremantle. It has been one-way traffic in that regard. Which is, I'm not going to say concerning, but we know that was a huge weakness for us last year. Scores from stoppage. Fremantle's skills look pretty decent, I say that, and Switkowski just airballed it to Jamison, who's taken a mark. Fife involved a lot. He is, yeah. Yeah, he's been pretty good. But Driscoll intercepts at the top of the 50, and we'll send the ball back in. Jinby with a spoil. Wonder if he can play key back. I mean, he definitely can. Eagles mop up through Duggan. I see, Rogie. Amber says, fair enough, Amber. Well, there's only one team that fits that criteria in North, but there's a lot of teams. Like most years, I reckon you wouldn't have the same team in the bottom. Or maybe I'm wrong, because Gold Coast were there for a while, Carlton were there for a while. It remains to be seen. We're already 2 years in, so if we have another bad year, then we'll see. Someone said that Emmett is a silver lining. Oh, great, spoil Jimby. Jackson turns around to snap and Jimby's... Jambo. That was Callum Jamison who spoiled or smothered a Luke Jackson kick. And it was a good smother too. Yeah, Emmett has looked good for someone who said that it's a silver lining for short sleeving. He's looked good. Oh, Barras has flown about 10 minutes too early and given away a free kick. What on earth happened there? I want to see a replay. So Tracy's getting pretty much a gimme free kick in front of goal. And it just looked weird. Out of the corner of my eye, I just saw Barras just like knock someone over. Out of nowhere. Really early. That's true, Rogie, yeah. Like Sheasel, but Sheasel carried it through. Tracy's missed to the left. That was a very gettable shot. It was not straight in front, it was on a bit of an angle. Did I know that WWE is taking over Optus Stadium? I am vaguely aware. My friend Anthony, aka The Pair, I believe has flown to Perth for that. So we've kind of struggled to get it out of our back half once it's been planted in there, which is weird for us. Nah. Well done, Yo. Is that Jack Williams on the field? Looks like Williams. So 29 minutes gone. We try by 17, and Livingston kicks it right as the siren goes. I wonder if Scoops is there. Hey, we got 52 likes. Thank you. Yeah, the MCG turf. I heard about that. I'm actually going on Pom and Oz's stream. I'm going to turn it down for quarter time. It's just ads. I'm actually going on Pom and Oz's live stream tomorrow, I believe. I think that's still happening. Yeah. Good fella. And I think we've got to talk about that. So I need to look up exactly what is the deal with that. Might just dip into Freo's stream. Drewzy's stream. And just see Drewzy absolutely going wild. He's got 2 ended streams. Did he try and fail to stream? Is that what's happened here? He's tried twice. The score is 9 West Coast and 26 Fremantle as we're at quarter time. By the way, thank you for being here, guys. It's good to have you. I just need to find out why Drewzy's stopped. I wonder if he's having tech issues. No, he definitely is. And this guy tried to tell you to leave mine. I wonder if he knows that he's not streaming anymore. That's funny. James says, we're not doing well, but better than last season. For sure. Like, it is early days. But agreed, that game, that quarter, kind of went how you'd expect this game to go in an actual game. In that we have struggled to win the ball at the coalface. And Fremantle have transitioned well and look fairly sharp. How much we read into that, I don't know, because it's a pre-season game. That being said, like I said, it's kind of what you'd expect. So we'll see. Hopefully we can stay somewhat competitive. Not because the score matters, but it would be nice to get some genuine kilometres under our legs, not just be walked all over. I wouldn't say we're being walked all over, but we're clearly losing the game. People on Twitter are ripping poor Harley on a practice game. Man, he hasn't even been bad. Like, yeah. Tell you what, the general broader AFL fan community it's not as bad as the Premier League, but it's kind of diabolical. It's getting worse. I'll tell you what, Facebook is the absolute scourge of AFL fans. And I do apologise to anyone who's discovered through Footy through Facebook. I would appreciate you. I'm not referring to everyone. I'm just saying some of the discussion and conversation that happens on Facebook is crazy. And YouTube, with the exception of like maybe Reddit and Big Footy, I think those places can be good too. But YouTube, the standard of comments and community is so much higher. UCat's in the chat and says Johnson could actually win the Brownlow. Yeah, right. Sick. Yeah, man. Are you at the game, UCat? Interesting, Billy. I didn't really know that. Tall poppy syndrome. Yeah, that's true. You build a player up. You build them up, and then as soon as anything doesn't happen that completely fits that narrative, he becomes a villain, and I'm not surprised. It does seem like it's easy to villainize Eagles players. There is history there. Not everyone, but I don't know. I'm used to us sort of getting knocked in the media. It's definitely been a trend. But maybe every fan feels that way. My count is 12 or 13 Eagles not available to injury, beginning to look a lot like the last 2 years. I get what you mean, Russell. The only thing that doesn't concern me very much yet is that maybe a couple of those players could play if there was a big game. Like Jermaine Jones, perhaps Bazzo, McGovern. I don't know for sure, but there's nothing to suggest that they're... I think with McGov, I think he still trained after... He got a bit of a sore groin after the intra-club. He still trained. But I think it's a case of we're not going to risk you in a pre-season game. So the injury list might be a little bit... It's just us being conservative. And there's a few, short-term injuries in there. And, Hewitt might be back sooner than we once thought, hopefully. So Sheed and Ryan, those aren't ideal, but I still think we're a long way off last year. But fingers crossed. Richard Hurt says, the amount of hate Dacos cops is wild, considering he doesn't come across as arrogant. Agreed. Where do you think that you see a lot of this hate? Because I kind of go off my YouTube comments and I look at Big Footy. I don't really trend on Twitter or Facebook much for footy discussion. I don't really go on those platforms. The reason I mentioned Facebook before is because I sometimes promote my content on Facebook, and by far that is the place I get the most hate. And it's really dumb vitriolic stuff. It's not even, for the most part, not absolutely everyone, but some of it's just clearly not responding to the content. They just post a comment to get a reaction as Q2 starts.
I really like the look of them, how they've gone about it. West Coast Eagles, they've been opportunistic a little bit. I think the pressure's been pretty good from West Coast, but in the end, I think we'll see Fremantle put their foot down a little bit here. West Coast, as I said, plugging a few holes around.
Fair enough, Richard. Yeah, I completely stay out of that ecosystem. I should probably spend more time on it for a variety of reasons. And Yo wins a clearance, and that is the first clearance I can remember in a while. I think there's 6 or 7 periods, Luke, maybe 6. And I don't know, from memory last year, they just put KO, they just broadcasted the first 4 and not the last 2. And in the last 2, they generally switch the teams quite a lot. That being said, we've only got 27 players listed, so... Whereas I think Fremantle picked 40, so I think their team could change a lot and ours might not. Because we do have a few players we just said are not available. Ooh, Jamison probably caught in the back there by Walters, not paid. I feel like Cripps get so much hate. Which Cripps are you referring to, Josh? Because I think the Eagles fans probably are harsh on Jamie, but I presume you probably mean Patrick. Because outside of the Eagles, I don't think anyone talks about Jamie Cripps. Yeah, that's true, Pat. Yeah, I get what you mean. Duggan stripped of it as soon as he had it. No prior. Switkowski runs into what could have been a clear shot on goal, but he just couldn't quite gather in time. Yo's been fairly prominent, actually. Not massively, but starting to notice him more and more. Jamie. Oh, there you go, Josh. Yeah. I agree. I think Jamie's great and underrated. But to be fair, he did sort of have indifferent form for a while there. It's just that he's back to his best. Or it was the end of last year. Rawlinson does a nice follow-up effort. Doesn't record a possession, but some pressure there from Rawlinson. Good to see him at AFL level. It must be a pretty good sign that he's in this team and someone like Harvey Johnston isn't. He's probably done something to earn that. Pretty skinny young fella though. Fremantle with another clearance. Rawlinson there, good pressure on O'Meara. Reed drives Aish into the ground. Wasn't sure if it would be a free. It wasn't. They're players that are only going to play the other 2 periods. That's true. I just think that the list of those players is small for us. It's only 5 extra names. One of them was Johnston, Burgeel, a few others. Whereas I think Fremantle will rotate a lot more players through.
Seen a lot of ball movement from these sorts of players.
Oh, there you go, Billy.
Middle of the ground. We've seen
I'll do that after.
down the line. Tracy launches himself
Who wins the Elimination Chamber? I barely know what that is.
to Hunt. Williams.
Allen. Oh, handballs to the feet of Rawlinson. And we might, if we're lucky, force a 4-line stoppage here. Good, so apologies if there was any interruption. It appears to be okay.
He was standing, but the big knee right at the back of the contest about 2 minutes ago. Long.
Along with a bit of a random snap, much like Busher on any given Tuesday.
Dockers able to escape.
And the Dockers get out of trouble, sort of. Out of the full. Witherden goes back to Duggan, who's about 70 metres from goal. Sends it to the square, but out of bounds. Throw in, deep in the Eagles' pocket. Are you streaming the official practice match next week? I would like to, I'm pretty sure it's on at 4:10 a.m. here. So it really depends how I'm feeling. I'm not ruling it out, but it is not super likely that I'm going to do that for a pre-season game, as much as I'd like to. Oh, Kelly with a really random snap, up and under snap from a stoppage, and the Eagles goal. There is 4 minutes 39 into the quarter. The Eagles are trailing 15 to 26. Josh has asked if Williams has won a tap yet. I actually haven't really been paying a lot of attention. But I mean, Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson are fairly good runners. Certainly as well from a around the ground situation, because he's more of a leaper, which means, much like Dewar, speaking of Dewar, haven't seen him yet. It mustn't have come on yet. Yeah, from a centre bounce situation, that's where Williams has a chance of winning the tap. Nice goal, had very little time there. That's true. Yeah, it was pretty good reflexes. Christian's asked how Harley's gone. He's been alright, mate. Like not burning it up, but done a few good things. Did a nice run and bounce before, hit a nice kick. He's gone alright. Yeah, here he is now. Does well somewhat. Can't quite get a clean possession. Possibly held a little bit, but no, free kick goes the other way. Good pass inside 50 from some Fremantle player, and can't quite tell who it is this far out. But Amos is lining up from about 50 metres out. This is on KO Amber, yes. Jamison has been given a run. Yeah, so he's interesting to see him as a key back. So he was kind of a ruck key back when we drafted him, I think. Or like he debuted actually against North as a key defender, as Amos goes from about 50. 55 he kicks that from. It's a long kick. Looks like it's to the right and a bit shallow, and it's behind to Fremantle. So now playing back in what is possibly his more natural position, but I think it's out of necessity because Edwards, Bazzo and McGovern are all unavailable. Which, if we go into round one like that, I will admit is a big concern. Oh, great mark from Oscar Allen. Just behind centre wing.
Two Oscars coming up against each other. It's becoming a real feature of Oscar Allen's game.
Luke Edwards with one of his first possessions, I think. Haven't really noticed where Luke Edwards is playing. That will be a point of interest to me. And we're kind of being hemmed into our back half here. We're sort of chipping it around. This has been a bit of a trend of this game. Fremantle's full field defence has been pretty good. And as much as we'd like to move the ball quickly, we also want to be able to develop a skill to manage situations like this. They're going to happen. And Hunt gives us a little bit of leg speed and sends it. I think that's a fairly good result. Oh, here we go. Noah Long has chipped inside 50. Oh, I couldn't have done that any better. Cripps, snap on the left foot. It's going to be wide. So to recap what just happened, Long just broke through a bit of congestion with some nice speed and hit a really nice angular drop punt straight on the chest of Waterman. It was such a good kick that I actually think that might have been too low, flat, and fast for Waterman because it kind of bounced off his shoulder. It was such a perfect kick in every way, but in fairness to Waterman, it was probably hard to mark because it was such a bullet. Hopefully there's things to come as Reed gets a handball out. Jackson pretty unnoticed so far. Yeah, I suppose so. I feel like I've noticed it a little bit. Here we go. Oh, Jinby does well. Stops on a dime, and then the end product is not great. So Fredericks sort of tackled Jinby. Jinby didn't see him coming. He does well to shrug it off and handballs it to the opposition. A free kick's been paid, so Jordan Clark has the ball. The score is 16-27 Fremantle's way. It actually says Liam Baker holding contract talks at the end of the year. I thought he signed a fairly big contract. I must have that wrong. I thought Liam Baker was well and truly contracted. Maybe not. He'd be a good one for us. I'm actually going to Google Liam Baker's contract status. So if anyone wants a good resource, Footy Wire. If you just type in a player and then Footy Wire into Google, it'll take you to their profile. Sounds like Jackson just took a good mark. I switched tabs for a second. Oh, Liam Baker's out of contract this year. Oh, I was wrong about Liam Baker. What the hell? How did I miss that? I've done like so many videos on like out of contract players. He's not a free agent though, so that makes it a little tricky for us, I think. As Jackson lines up from a tough shot in the pocket, and he's kicked it on the full, out on the full, no score. Signed a 2-year deal at the end of 2022. Yeah, right. Maybe. In my head, I just didn't think that was that long ago, and in my head, I also thought he signed for longer. We try and get out of our defensive half, but Fremantle intercept well. There we go. Oh, errant handball. Kelly almost intercepts. And Johnson's 44, isn't he? Yeah. Kicks it to Frederick. That's true, Yasha. I did see something about that. Good mark there from Tracy. Yeah. Not sure if you heard Schofield then. He was just talking about the good work Amos did off the ball as it allowed Tracy to take a good mark and kick a goal. So the score is now 33-16, 11:45 gone on the clock. He says, when do Northern Eagles play this year? Good question. By the way, AFL app just doesn't work for me anymore, which is really frustrating. So I use the Footy Live app. My phone's 3 years old, but I don't feel like that's old enough to justify just shit like that happening, because I've noticed a few things going wrong with it. But 3 years, like, for the investment that you spend on a phone. So now it is Livingston, Jinby, Yo against Aish, Sarong, and Young. I can't see the other. Oh, and Kelly. I can't see the whole fixture. I'll look it up later. So I'm not sure when the Eagles play North. I think it's at Optus though. I think it might be mid-year. So another clearance for Fremantle. Frederick passes it off. Jackson gets swamped by a mob of Eagles. And they rebound. So Kelly's worked his way into this game, definitely. I don't think he's been super clean, but his work rate's there. Good tackle by Marek. Ball up in the middle of the ground. No? Fuck. Jinby's got a head knock with a head clash with Luke Jackson completely off the ball. I don't know how that happened. Oh, it's probably... Jackson got tackled. So Jinby has tackled... Oh! He's tackled Jackson. And in the process, I think he clashed his heads, but like facially as well, like in the jaw. So that might be his day done. Hopefully he's okay. Nyasha says they play twice. There you go. Oh, yes. And I think it's in Tassie. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nyasha. I think the Eagles play North in Tassie, which is a game that I am dreading a little bit. I have bad memories of us playing North in Tasmania. Just trying to... Yeah, so Jinby's day is probably over with a... I don't know if he's concussed, but might as well just take no risks in this game. All for luck for the kid. Yeah, it sucks. Concussions suck for anyone. He doesn't look too poorly. I will say that. Not that you can really tell, but like he doesn't look completely screwed. He just looks like he just had a head clash and just a little bit dazed. So still get him off, but you know, compare it to some of those concussions where people look ruined. He looks relatively okay. So fingers crossed. Jamison's done some okay things as a key defender. Takes a admittedly not difficult mark, but he's just, you know, he's impacting a little bit. He must not have expected Jackson to move like that. Yeah, I think Jackson sort of moved back towards him and, yeah. For the record, Jackson doesn't seem hurt. It was, Jinby was unlucky. Petruccelli with a bit of slickness, but tried to be a little bit cute there. Would have been amazing if he pulled off that little sidestep, but well done, Marek. So a common thread for both teams in this game has been taking 2 or 3 grabs to gather a loose ball, and Waterman takes a good mark, really good mark at the edge of the 50 for West Coast. Meanwhile, Sam Powell-Pepper's rocking Mark Keane's world. Let's go off the left, Josh says. Was that Yo off the left, was it? I wasn't actually sure who kicked it. The streets will remember Will Walker's debut against the Eagles in 2018. Yeah, that... I don't think I watched that game, so I actually don't really remember Will Walker tearing us up or anything. I think I was at work that day, and I know that we got slaughtered. I also want to say, I could be wrong, but I think you beat us here in 15 when we were a good team, but I think that might have been a close game. I could be wrong. But remember that? Was it like around that period as well, North like kicked the first 10 goals against Adelaide in Tassie? Like, they're good in Tassie. Or at least were. Like, I don't really... Obviously, the team's changed a lot over the last few years. It's sort of like how one version of the Eagles used to be amazing at the Gabba, and this version has a Gabba allergy. Gabballergy. Free kick paid to Luke Jackson 40 metres out. So it feels like we're giving away a lot of free kicks. I'm not saying they're not there. That seems a little bit unlucky. But for whatever reason, we are giving away free kicks quite a lot, which is annoying. North being good down there is a distant memory. I mean, that's probably fair, Richard, yeah. I say Palmy, I think, Rogie. Jackson's lining up for goal, by the way. He's missed. 5 goals 4 to 2 goals 5. Fremantle lead 34 to 17. Subscribe. Has Huff just come onto the field? I haven't really noticed him yet. I don't know why that would be the case. Why he would only just start now. But he probably has been there, I just haven't noticed him. Yeah, right, Billy. You know what? I've only seen the Pow Pepper hit once and fast. So I'd need to see it again to make a call on what I think of the action. It kind of looked like it could have just happened accidentally, but again, I haven't seen a replay. Amos in the pocket. This will be a tough shot for a left footer, I think, but he's a good kick at goal. Yeah, started left, stayed left. We look bad, lost without McGovern down back. I mean, yeah, probably, yeah, definitely true. He's a good player. That being said, we're losing this game in a number of different ways, but obviously it would help to have McGovern. Oh, well done, Duggan. Oh, very well done. Gets smothered, but doesn't take away from the initial effort. We've turned it over again. Barras flies high, spoils it, but at ground level, Frederick. That shot was almost an afterthought, but it got kind of close. Not bad from Frederick. It is 5-5, 35 to 17. Jackson having a good influence, yeah, no doubt. Who's the West Coast blonde bloke? If you're talking talls, I think that only could be Jamison. I think he's the only clearly blonde guy in our backline. He's gone alright, yeah. Wouldn't imagine he is too close to a round one game, but that kind of depends on injury. Noah Long getting involved a little bit with a couple of possessions, and Allen does well. Outnumbered somewhat. Takes a good mark in front of Hughes. Good kick to Cripps. This is better. And Waterman has paid a free kick for a chop of the arms, I think. So Waterman's been pretty prominent. Good to see, like, considering where he's come from a illness point of view. For anyone who doesn't follow the Eagles, like, Waterman nearly had his career ended by not diverticulitis, but some sort of bowel infection or illness. Lost like 10 kilos. You know, was in doubt to ever play again, and now is killing it this pre-season. So, respect. Matt says Noah is so clean. He really is. Yeah, good signs from him. Waterman, this is a tough shot. He's actually a pretty good set shot generally. It's hung out slightly to the right. But his set shot kicking is better than his field kicking. He's not a bad set shot, and that was a decent effort. Agreed, Kev. Yeah, for sure. But that, like I said, this game's kind of playing out like you'd expect a regular season game between these two teams to go. Neither team has been particularly clean, so maybe that will be the difference when the season starts. But, yeah, pretty standard game so far, and I'm not dejected without necessarily being excited by it either. I think it's been a good hit out for us. Like, Waterman... Oh, good effort from Waterman. We're 2 goals 7. It's touched through. But nearly something out of nothing. Ulcerative colitis. Thank you, Trev. That was the illness. Oh, Power Ninja's asking how to become a member. Oh, cheers, mate. As you look at the YouTube video, there should be a join button. If you're interested at all. Okay, so Dockers burning us on transition. And they go end to end, and Frederick, again, who has been pretty much everywhere today, without being super clean, He's going to have a shot on goal. I'm going to fill up my water bottle. We'll be right back. Joyce says, wow, Fifey. I must have looked away, sorry. I think I was talking to the chat. I missed exactly what Fife did. I just looked up and Fremantle were on the way to goal. That was an old man groan. So, I heard that. Frederick has nailed a set shot from about 45, 50. Not a bad effort from the young man. And the score is 41 Fremantle to 19 West Coast. I agree, Christian. I think he's always been a midfielder, not a forward, really, in terms of what his best game is. But I think some of that comes down to his body not being right. That's true, Rogue, but it clearly says Parmi in the word that you've written. So if you shorten the word Parmigiana, Parmi is also correct. So stay subscribed. Another clearance. Ooh, Fife has just taken a little bit too much time. And Waterman wrapped him up, made him pay for a second of indecision. It's resulted in a bullet pass from Waterman to Marrick, and I would say that Waterman has been our best on ground quite easily. Yeah, I think Fife just had a bit of a moment there. That's all right. It is a pre-season. He has been good.
He's looked good. He has looked good. You know he has. That was great pressure in the end. He probably bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Marrick, again, he's going to play a more important role now.
Marrick lining up. And he's hung it out to the right. So 2 goals, 8 now. Some of them have been difficult shots, but I still would have liked to have maybe nailed a few more. 2 goals, 8 is not great.
Mistakes can sometimes get better from those rather than just kicking a few easy ones. So we're disappointed with how they've been converting both sides.
12 scoring shots to 10 in favour of Fremantle. Cripps puts it out in front of...
Oh, I thought that was a replay. Cripps has sent the ball inside 50. Oh, Long just took a little too long. Pun intended. Gaff puts it at the top of the square. Oh, Chester. He's definitely wasn't playing previously. He is now on the field. So maybe we just have phased a few different players in. Long is limping. Long actually looks a bit like Gaff. And Long is coming off the field. That's not great. Kelly snaps wide. So we're getting inside 50 a little bit more in the last few minutes. Created a couple of opportunities and just for a couple of behinds, unfortunately. So I'm a little bit worried about that Noah Long situation. Again, he didn't look completely ruined, but he's definitely limping. So hopefully it's just a rolled ankle. Waterman, good kick. Oh, Cripps has spilled a mark that he should have taken. And Marrick is going to have another mark in the pocket. And it's a tight angle again. It is 21 to 41, sorry for those asking the score, but Marrick is lining up.
Marks taken, but in wide positions, and you've got to be good to kick them. I wonder if he'll take this on his left, a set shot, or maybe banana.
I get your point, Rogie, but
This close to goals.
just because we don't do it with Service Station doesn't mean we can't do it with Palmy. And Marrick has jailed a nice banana. It is 3 goals 9 to 27. And 6 goals 5 to 41 Fremantle. And somewhere there's a banana in jail going, let me out. 82 in the street. Chuck a like if you don't mind. Good goal. And nice to close the gap a little bit on margin. It was threatening a little bit there. And we've lifted in the last few minutes. 27-41 is the score, and that kind of reflects how this game's gone.
Level, it just looked like he thought, you know what, I'm just going to kick this, go back, knock it back, kick it like I did in the past.
It'd be nice to be able to measure this game with some like inside 50s clearance numbers. I don't think we're going to get access to that.
Himself, that's a great finish.
I
As he said,
feel like we've definitely been beaten in those stats. I just want to see how much.
games last year, they'll need to at least
Agreed, Matt. I'm a huge Marek fan too.
see him play close to 20
Nice goal.
20 goals. That'd be a good outcome for him.
Yeah, impactful. Agreed, he. Got keep him in the team. Livingston in the ruck against Darcy.
The ground.
Fife gets a handball out to Sarong.
Ends up with Sarong, who gave it to Young. Amos searching for Walters to quite connect.
Whoa, Rogi, I think that's up for debate. You don't say Parmigiana. It's pronounced Parmigiana. I don't think that's necessarily a fact.
Don't have the stats in front of us today, but
Maybe that's just the way it is in your head, but you wouldn't... Parmigiana is just kind of how it sounds, but doesn't mean it's the correct pronunciation. Riley's asking my big call for West Coast. I did a video on the True Eagle channel, which is pinned in this chat, my Eagles channel, and it is 10 predictions for 2024. What was the biggest call in that? I tipped McGovern to have a really good year, but that is injury dependent, obviously. But he only needs to play 15 games to have his best year in 5 years.
Seconds ticking away in this opening half.
I put Hoff in the 22 under 22. That was one prediction, which you could say is somewhat bold.
Pulls it back almost to the top of the square. Cole.
Bit of lag at the wrong moment there. Dockers ball up 20 metres from their goal. So there you go. People chiming with the Parmi sound.
Reach half time in this first match simulation for the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle.
Parmi UK. Good question. I don't.
17 at
It's not really a term that I've heard too much here, but I think you're right. I don't.
15.
Actually, I don't know what they say here. Palmer. I genuinely don't know. I haven't had a conversation with a local here about Parmigianas. See? Parmigianas? Parmigiana? Lloyd. Oh, I think I'm getting called almost certainly from Drewzy. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to mute this for halftime. And Drewzy's going to...
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
You're taking my views.
Nah. Have you tried and failed to stream 3 times?
Yeah, it's been one of those pre-season streams where I just, cook it.
I like how Sean comes into my chat and he's like, come to the Drewzy stream, it's way better. And then I look on yours and it's died 3 times.
How many, you're sitting at 87, that's sick.
Yeah, we got a nice little audience in here. We're all,
We got Toby in my stream. Toby, say hello to the stream. Hello.
it's his dog.
That's my dog.
It's his dog.
Yeah, I don't know, stream's just bugging at the start. I think in Carnup, the internet just, drops out all the time, so it buffers a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll be out of this bitch real soon anyway, so...
We've got a, gross, we've got a fierce debate here. Palmy or Palmer? What do you think, Drewzy?
Palmy.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I'm copping some shit for saying Palmy from Rogue Riot in particular. That being said, Rogue Riot has just gifted a membership to Power Ninja 2017. So shout out Rogue Riot. What a legend. Thank you so much.
Making money out here. We're fucking...
I think my weekly shopping has been funded a lot by Rogue Riot lately. He's been very generous with his donations.
That's not even a lie.
Yeah. Cheers, Rogue. You're a legend. And Power Ninja, welcome to the family.
What do you reckon about that first half then? Are you still shit?
I think it kind of went how I'd expect an actual game to go. Like an actual with the exception that I think both teams haven't been super clean. But Fremantle have won, the clearances, had more inside 50s without being devastatingly sharp. And we've also been fine. So 14 points is not bad, but yeah, it is what it is. What did you think?
I thought we looked good at times, just need to be a bit more clean.
Yeah, it is just the preseason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times both teams would sort of jump on a loose ball and you think, oh, they're out here, and then they take 3 seconds to grab the ball.
Yeah.
So the score could be different, like very different, if this was a round one game. But yeah, I mean, the weaknesses I expected us to have are still there. Like the midfield has been pretty well butchered without looking at the stats. Like it feels like Fremantle's winning every clearance. And it would have been nice to see our new ruckman, but he got injured.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's laid out for the game with a hamstring tendon, which does not sound good. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Carnage.
Have you seen enough of Harley Reid?
Yeah, I haven't seen him around the ball that much, but he's done a few good things. I mean, I think this kid's going to be a victim of expectation, and it's not a great game. It's not an easy game to come in and just impact in your first experience. So I'm not really concerned that he hasn't had a million touches, but he did hit it like a really nice pass. Hasn't made any mistakes, I don't think. He's been pretty good, I think, like from limited touches.
He's shorter than I thought he was. He's like the wrong build.
No. He's Sarong's like 179 and Reed's 187.
Really?
Yeah. You might have
He
just.
didn't look too big. Like when Sarong was standing next to Harley Reid, like he looked like he maybe had like 5 centimeters. Like really not much.
I don't know exactly how tall Sarong is. I thought Sarong was like 179, but maybe not.
Try look out for it next time. Like try compare him to a player when they matched up at a stoppage, and I was like, what the fuck? Like he looked too big. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Reed doesn't look
He did have
huge, but
he did have a good passage where he just like picked up the ball, took a bounce, and then hit someone lace out. And I was like, oh, that's good.
yeah, it was nice. The kick was really good. He's a really good kick. But yeah.
Defensively, like, what have you thought? Because there's been so many times where like Josh Tracy's just had an uncontested mark. Like we've just been able to find it outnumbering the forward line. Like, does that not just like concern you?
Some of that is probably also from like the ball coming out of the center easy, or the transition. I think like Fremantle's going end to end pretty quick. Like we've struggled with that in the past. As for like a direct opponent for Josh Tracy though, we've got no McGovern, no Harry Edwards, no Rhett Bazzo. So 3 out of the only 4 key backs on our list are injured, and so Barras is there, and so we're playing Jamison back. So it'd be great to have McGovern, but I think it's also probably Fremantle's just transitioning really quick and we haven't been able to stop it.
So do you have quite a sizable injury list?
It's probably above average for the league. It's not crazy though. Like there's no really bad injuries. There's a few players just like with a groin injury or soreness, and we're just like, don't play in this game. So it's not really crazy. But yeah, we're just resting a lot of players. It just happens to be like a lot of our key backs are out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll watch this space. I think the Dockers are going to win. Is it a 7 game? Is it 7 periods?
6 or 7? I think the coverage might only go for 4 quarters. I think that's what happened last year. They turned KO off, but they kept playing. I think that's what happened.
Come on.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that happened last year. That's all.
Right. I hope to see 7 quarters and my stream not lag in and out for the rest of it.
And I just want $1 million.
Yeah, sounds good, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Go Dockers.
Cool. Love you too, Dad. That's
right,
Drewzy.
yeah.
All right, see you, buddy. Sorry, guys, that was my girlfriend, but it was content at the same time. Cool. So just catching up on the stream. Yeah, thank you again, Rogie. I'm just funding. If I'm funding your groceries, the least you can do is see Sens and call Palmer. All right, it is Palmer now. That's right. Well, I'm such a sellout. I feel like such a whore. Eagles come back and win, says Riley. Yeah, maybe. I mean, the way that happens, I think, is if like the team's just sort of muddled up and stuff like that. But I don't think we're hugely threatening to Fremantle. There's probably a 5-minute patch of that quarter where we looked like we were in control, but we haven't really felt in control other than that. But again, I think we're really more here for signs that the team is travelling all right. I'll never forget an Irish bartender correcting my SA dialects. We don't have palmies, but I can get you a palmer. Boils my veins still. That's funny. We don't have palmies. Was he taking the piss? Or was he being legit? There is a golf thing. Yeah, I have muted it for a second there. Tanzify just scored. Who scored and is Eagles playing well? So that's right. So it's 27-41, says Luke. I am trying to think who scored. I feel like Amos has kicked a goal, maybe. I think he's kicked one, maybe. Tracy's definitely kicked one. Frederick kicked one. And for us, Marek kicked a nice goal. Waterman's kicked at least one or two. We've only kicked 3 goals, so I'd say Waterman and Kelly. Thank you. Yeah. So, a bit to work with. This is a decent platform from which to us to improve. Intensity's been okay. Some of still the same weaknesses in the team, but we can't expect to fix that in a half of preseason games. Agreed, Richard. I've never actually partaken. I'm not going to lie. G'day, Daniel. No, I come back in December 2024. If I haven't said that anywhere, that is my announcement. Not that anyone's really fascinated by that, but yeah, I'm here for the rest of the year. Any mid's actually having a crack. I would describe Tim Kelly as certainly having a crack. I think he has played with a reasonable intensity. Jinby is now probably out of the game with a head knock. He tried hard, but it wasn't super noticeable. Like Yo and Kelly, they've been there for a bit, but certainly not really imposing themselves on the game. I'd probably give Kelly credit and say he's been one of our best, though. And yes, Luke is pointing out the Fremantle counterparts, Brayshaw and Fife and Kelly, he says. Yeah, Fife's been good, I would say. Great. Long, Jinby. Yeah, Long has also hurt his ankle, so it's not great. Jamison's big smother towards the end of yeah, I agree. Rumham, it was a good smother. I think Jamison's looked okay. As a key back, specifically. Cohen Livingston Bog. Well, best on ground. Yeah. I haven't really noticed. I presume you're taking the piss. Harley Reid's been okay. He hasn't really touched the ball that much, but I'd suggest he maybe has 5 or 6 touches, and they were all fine. One was particularly good, so that's cool. Oh man, I can imagine the talk if he doesn't necessarily set the world on fire. What the media is gonna do with that? Basically the same as we did last year so far. I sort of, Charlie, except the, I'd say more competitive, to be honest. But in terms of like slickness and everything, yeah. I think it's okay. Like, this is kind of what I reasonably expected. No real shining lights. You know what? The one shining light I think here is Waterman. Like, I've been talking him up as being slept on a little bit, and I will say that what we've seen in this game only supports that. He's probably been our best player, and could be, in fact, yeah, I'll lock him in for a career best season if he can stay fit. Like, I've never seen Waterman this good and this confident. But generally speaking, yeah, it's a tough one. Like, I think neither side has been clean. And I can't help but feel that if both sides were cleaner, the margin would be bigger. Because Fremantle probably also had some opportunities to burn us. But that's kind of also been their problem, right? They're not necessarily the most, devastating side offensively. So them leaving opportunities on the board is kind of a thing that has happened to them over the last few years. So they're still working through their stuff too. And I think they're even better. I have been worried about the midfield. The midfield hasn't filled me with confidence in this game, but nothing seriously concerning, I would say. Eagle Fart, that's a great username. He hasn't had many opportunities to get the ball. Agreed. Yeah. It's a great name. How much longer to the second half starts? I can't be sure. It is on Syslinks YT. Is definitely on. It is 27-41. It's just halftime. Do I think the Eagles will have English and Baker and possibly even Zerha? Wow, I don't think we can get all three. So English could be signed as a free agent, and I imagine we do go hard for Baker. But trading for Baker will be awkward. Because pick one potentially, or pick two. Let's say we have pick two because that's what I predicted, or at least the top 5 pick, is too steep for Liam Baker. But our second pick could be pick 30, and that is not enough for Liam Baker. So I don't know how we're going to trade away through that, but I suppose it's a long way away. So English and Baker maybe. Zerha as a free agent. I mean, I suppose there's no real reason we couldn't. I just don't think it would happen. But Zerha could be a free agent too, so we could offer 2 massive contracts. And in theory, I think we're going to have a lot of money, so it's possible. But I would be shocked if we signed 3 players like that. Imagine that, though. Imagine signing Liam Baker, Tim English, and Cam Zerha. Presumably, Baker plays midfield. All right, that'd be exciting, to be honest. And keep pick 2. Freo probably expecting to push for finals. We were just trying to get off the bottom. That's true. Undoubtedly true. I'm watching on KO Syslinks. Looks like the coverage is back on, so I'll turn it on in a second. Poor old Bailey finally thought he could be a forward. Yeah, that's a good point, Charlie. That is frustrating, actually. Heath. Yeah, look, I did watch it, and I'm a little confused as to why he put Sydney 12th. I'll agree with you there. Why is this still muted? There. Good old mute button. So this is still highlights, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just highlights. So I'll turn it down until the actual game starts. That's true. I can't show it, unfortunately, Syslinks, because of copyright reasons. We've got 107 in the chat. Thank you for being here, guys. It's great to be back for season 2024. If you could like the stream while you're here, that would be much appreciated. It helps me algorithmically, and of course, I'll be doing a review of this game after on the True Eagle YouTube channel, which is pinned in the chat for anyone who's interested in Eagles content. Clay Hall is injured, Rogie, so I probably wouldn't invest in him. He did his ankle in the intra-club and is hopefully back in 3 to 4 weeks, so unlikely to debut anytime soon if you're coming at it from a super coach point of view. He messaged me and said he hasn't been keeping tabs. Yeah, I'm shocked. Not shocked. I'm a little surprised. Sydney don't tend to capitulate like some other teams do. They don't tend to. And their list has gotten stronger and they should be fitter. So I think I had Sydney as a big contender this year. Why am I an Eagles fan? My family's from Perth. My dad went for the Eagles and I kind of just inherited it. And thank God we didn't grow up in the Fremantle area. Pedro Pug Official says, hey, can you please read out the injuries right now? Yeah, I can for you. What I'll do is there's a couple of good Instagram pages, WCE Central, and there's another good one that I forget the name of. Forgive me. There's a few out there, but sorry, I think I've been randomly followed by a thought bot. What is it with these like AI things that I commented on from like clearly fake accounts that are, well, I call them thought bots. Sorry, I'm going to load up the injuries for you. We're down 27-41. Syslinks. Okay. So these are the unavailable for selection players. Liam Bryan might be out for the first month of the year. Sheed, don't know, but it could be a similar time frame. Hewitt feet, again, we don't know, TBC, but it doesn't seem too bad. Brockman's got knee soreness. No idea how bad that is, but I don't think that's serious. McGovern groin, again, could be playing next week. Archer Reed knee, he's coming back from a knee injury last year, and I think he's okay. I think he's mostly fit, but not ready for AFL action. Zaintrew's got a back injury. There's no reporting really on that, so that could be a concern. Darling's got a hammy that could see him back by round 1. Clay Hall's ankle will see him out till late round 3 or 4. Bazo groin, again, a bit underreported. Rotham groin, that one's been there for a while, which concerns me. And Harry Edwards' finger, he had surgery, not sure how long. There's a trend here, but they don't really, in the preseason, they're not really clear about when they're coming back too often. And Jai Cully's still coming back from the knee. So those are all the players unavailable for selection. And then there was Matthew Flynn today. Man, when you list them all like that, it does sound kind of bad. But some of them are precautionary. And some of them are not best 22 players. So yeah, Flynn was named. Jordan Baker, Johnston, Barnett and Burgeel are players that we expect to see after the first 4 quarters, I think. All right, 27-42 is the score. 3-9, 27-6-6, and we're about to kick off.
West Coast and Fremantle will return the travelling favours. They'll head to South Australia next week to play those games. And yeah, I think both coaches in Justin Monmuro and Adam Simpson will be looking to manage their senior players, but some of their players as they look forward.
That'd be great, wouldn't it, Heath? One of them commented on my YouTube video saying, "This is great, can you please shout me out?" And I thought about actually shouting them out as a joke in a video, but I never thought of actually doing it. So Williams with a clearance. Harley Reid started in the centre there. He is now... Oh, good tackle, to be fair. Holding the ball. So he tried to shrug off a... I'm trying to work out who it is. Is it Jordan Clark? Nah, Sarong. Sarong's a strong kid for his size. And he couldn't fend off Sarong. Well done, Sarong.
I would say if you're going to test it out, it's probably not against Andrew Brayshaw. He may well be the best tackler in the AFL.
I think that's a good prediction, Eagles edits. I could see us clicking as time goes on as we try and commit to a new style. Out of bounds on the centre wing. 73 likes, thank you guys. Let's see if we can ton up today. That'd be hot. That'd be amazing. Can't remember the last time a live stream hit 100 likes. It's been a while. Some of you have been through here through the off season where we're streaming BBL games, and those are a lot of fun. A few more people in it today. So it's good to have everyone. Gaff. Haven't seen much of Gaff. Finds Allen. Allen gets spoiled. Fremantle rebound through the opposite halfback flank. Ooh, Barras flies, loses his feet, wins a free kick for a chop. So he has the ball about 70 from goal. Edwards chips. Oh, it's a bad kick from Edwards. And Frederick has also... No, that's not a bad kick. It's made to look a little bit harder than it really was. Trev, he will, I agree. I think he will continue to get caught. I don't mind him in a preseason game trying his strength. Sarong's just a strong kid. Considering the size or the height difference, he did well to wrap him up, to be fair. Brazilian Butt League. Sign me up. Got a soft spot for West Coast because of the grand final. Yeah, nice, Riley. It's good to have you. I did leg day yesterday. And, yeah, feeling it. It wasn't a particularly hard workout. I just still sore. Power Ninja, we are playing the Adelaide Crows in Adelaide Hills, I think the game is. Or Hisense Stadium, whatever that is. Oh, Waterman. I'm just trying to adjust this for my seating position. Forgive my microphone, which has seen better days, I tell you that. I'll replace it when Rogue Riot gives me 50 more memberships. Nah, just kidding. Nah, it still works perfectly fine. It's just the cap of it came off, so I'm like, yeah. Christian, that is mean. G'day, Max. Well, the thing is, we beat GWS Bulldogs and North last year, so you wouldn't have predicted we'd beat any of those teams, but they always happen. That being said, our first 7 fixtures are tough. Like, we might be 1-6 at best. Richmond and Freo and North, says Luke. I like it. I'll take it. As long as we have more than 3 wins, though. So, missed out to the left. Who is that? Is that Erasmus? Yeah, right. Harley Reid taking the kick out. We were told this might happen. He is a great kick. This is why I like him behind the ball. Takes on the player. He's had a bounce. He's run the 50 metres. He's turned the ball over. But put that in your bloody TikTok reel. What did I just say? That's a TikTok reel. Just merge 2 platforms together. I am literally a full-time content creator and I still mess up the names. It's just the age. I reckon we could beat North, Richmond, Bulldogs and Essendon. So we play Essendon at home, we play North at home, we play Richmond at home, and we play the Bulldogs at Marvel? I don't know if we play the Bulldogs at home, but I said this the other day, I'm actually more confident against the Bulldogs in Melbourne than I am at Optus. They seem to beat us badly there, and we seem to actually go alright at Marvel. That being said, yeah, I think those potentially make sense. I wouldn't back us to beat the Bulldogs again, though. Like, I wouldn't tip us. There should be more Neils in the AFL. Oh, there's a Neil that plays for Fremantle. Neil Down and Gobblemer. It's like Italian. Love the confidence Reid has to take that on. Joycey says. Agreed. Didn't really come off, but he did launch the ball like 50 metres after running 40, so bit unlucky. I agree, especially in a pre-season game. Let him test his strength. Who cares if it doesn't come off? I'd rather that than him get hemmed into this conservative Eagle style that has plagued us the last few years. Let him express himself. I think it's kind of a nice philosophy. You see it in good teams. Just the freedom to express themselves. I feel like that was like a real Jurgen Klopp thing. It's certainly a Craig McRae thing. And they're talking about it at West Coast too, which is a good start. Could be hard to beat the Dogs with a lack of tall backs. It's fair, yeah. But I mean, Barras and McGovern are fit, then, I'm not too concerned. Scragged kick from Hunt is possibly going to burn us here as Fremantle transition. Frederick all by himself. Hoff admittedly had some time. The ball hung up and he did a good spoil. Well done, Hoff. Nah, I wouldn't really care for another Perth team, Eagles at it. So it does benefit us only having 2 teams. Read the room indeed, Richard. I agree. Eagles beat Brisbane Swans in the Power. Imagine that, Power Ninja. But no one else. Just 3 top teams. Quite a decent non-Victorian presence in this year's top 8, I reckon. I had the top 3 in my ladder prediction as Gaff gets a little nudge under the back, but missed. I had top 3 all non-Victorian in my ladder prediction. as well as Adelaide. And Frederick. Ooh, Frederick. You know, Frederick's been good. It's just the end product today. He's just lacked a little bit of polish. Except for that one good set shot. He did kick a good goal, didn't he? But now it's Fremantle probably missing more opportunities. It is 3-9-27, plays 6-10-46. Drewzy says Emmett, wow. Sorry, mate, I'm not taking a piss here. I genuinely didn't see it. Sometimes it's hard when you're streaming a little bit. But I believe you. He's been pretty good. What are Fremantle's fans' thoughts on McDonald? I've noticed him a couple of times. How does he seem to be training? Is he a chance to get games this year? What are the thoughts? O'Meara finds Amos quite easily on the lead. I think Jamison is not a great matchup for him. I think Amos will burn him on the lead for sure. Mind you, probably do that to Brass too. Build another WA stadium. Yeah. Maybe they can build a new one for Fremantle's home ground in like maybe Casuarina or somewhere like that. Someone's going to laugh at my jokes. West Coast have not played Fremantle in a final before, no. But it's weirdly gotten really close as Amos kicks and goals, nice shot, to make it 52-27. Interestingly, the two prelims that Fremantle have made and lost, in both times, had they won, they would have played West Coast in the grand final. Pretty scary stuff. If the AFL want to grow the game, they'd put another team in Sydney. Would it really help, do you think, grow the game? I understand where you're coming from. It's a growth market, but would they just not be better served just like working on building the engagement from the two teams that exist? Or do you think there's a serious geographical gap where they could plug that and get a benefit from? Because at the moment you got like Sydney and West Sydney, but I suppose there's like Wollongong and Newcastle. Reed starting at another centre bounce, and the ball kind of just trickles out, and I think that's Erasmus gets the clearance. Sturt sends the ball. Oh, good kick. Great kick from Sturt. Has found Amos, and Fremantle starting to nudge this gap out a little bit further through a couple of good players. Get a little bit of a bad feeling that this game will trend poorly. Max, you were both correct on the facts and the grammar. Grammar was fine. It's true though, yeah, it is weird that WA has never had one, considering there has been years where it's gotten close. Like, I mean, the Eagles and Dockers do seem to be on opposite cycles for a lot over the last 14 years. That being said, there has definitely been years where both teams were good. 2015 being the best example of that, where they finished first and second. So that's probably actually interesting. WA has not had a final, but it has had both teams finish first and second, which I don't think is true of any other state other than Victoria. Let Don Pike coach instead of Adam Simpson. Imagine he just does two jobs from now. I think they may look to SA and pick out a third Adelaide team. I'd probably rather that than a third WA team, to be honest. Livingston. Ooh, Livingston just got a little excited there, had more time than he realised, and Young almost took a good mark. The Eagles getting inside 50, but it's kind of Fremantle passing backwards. We've lost a little bit of sting in this half, but it has just really started, sort of. Just some fidgety handballs there, and Fremantle turn it over with their good pressure. And it's starting to look a little bit easy for him. Johnson, a little bit of a lazy handball to Jackson. That's all right. Emmett. Tell you what, that would have capped off a very... Well, what am I saying here? That would have been a nice highlight to add to what has been a very good game for Emmett, is what I was actually trying to say. But he missed to the left. So we are now 27 to 59.
Players are tired now, and what happens when you're tired? You can't defend. Games can open.
I don't know all the facts off the top of my head, but I think Emmett has an interesting story. I feel like he is actually a cancer recovery or survivor, if you want to say it. I don't know like how bad it got, but I think he had some form of cancer before he was drafted. So good for him, being not only on an AFL list, but like probably going to play some serious AFL this year. I'd be surprised if Simo lost his job. I agree, Joycey. I think, I think if this isn't inspiring, but like if this is what we kind of produce week in, week out, and there are 3 to 5 good performances this year, we maybe win 4 to 6 games. Like I think that is going to be enough for Simo, and I think that is very achievable. This is kind of what you'd expect for the players that are out there. Chesser. Ducks, dives, dips and dodges, few people, and then the final product isn't great, but that was a little bit exciting. If you move Gold Coast to Sydney, City to Gold Coast. It's Drew Amber.
Impressed with him at the West Coast Eagles. Jamie Cripps thought that maybe hit the deck there.
Not much continuity for Campbell Chesser in his body since he's come to the Eagles.
I agree, Christian. I think the best case scenario is we do well and Simo doesn't get sacked.
Ace with the run through the middle.
I like that we don't turn over coaches that much.
Himself physically,
I think it's served us well.
he was able to win it back, and Williams finds himself with a mark.
Williams just a little bit casual on the kick. It's intercepted. Fremantle's intensity is good at the moment, and we are probably, well, it's certainly not matching that. But they're also a lot more organised than us. And number 30, which is O'Driscoll, takes a mark for Fremantle.
Set shot on goal, Nathan O'Driscoll.
Josh says we seem to be rushing too much. Yes, there is no doubt that we've got some younger players out there this half. We've seen more of Chesser. We've seen more of Livingston. I'm trying to think who else. Not drastically younger. I think Reed has probably taken a few more centre bounces as well. So we have switched things up, and understandably, we are getting well and truly dominated out of the centre. And generally, we're getting dominated this quarter, no doubt.
Into boundary side. Played with the spoil. And Reed has up.
If the club thought another coach would get more out of the group, Simpson would already be gone.
West Coast trying to be more attacking.
Agreed, Joycey. I do think the contract saved him last year, though. Like, it did get to the point where they seriously had to consider changing the coach because, like, the morale clearly and the psychology of the group was so low, like evidenced by the Sydney game in particular and the Fremantle game. That's where you can question it. So I do think he probably would have been sacked had he not had a contract. And that's just a key factor sometimes, you know. If you've got the safety of a contract or not, I think he would have been in trouble. That being said, I do agree generally with your point. There's a lot to play. Still a lot to play with Tassie. Yeah. I have seen a little bit about that, or heard a little bit about that, without getting super intense. KO's just shut itself. Frio's midfield is very good, so it's fair enough. It is, and ours is weak. There's no doubt. And I haven't seen a lot of Yo this quarter, or Kelly even. And sometimes Kelly carries this team on his back. I think a viable replacement also saved him. Yeah, I mean, there aren't so many super clear candidates as the next man in, be it West Coast or anywhere else, it would be an unproven coach. It's just giving me some grief. 83 in the stream, guys. Thank you for being here. Chuck a like on the stream if you wouldn't mind terribly. I'm just having some connectivity issues. Must be hard for West Coast and Freo travelling 3 or 4 hours every second week. Yeah, there's no doubt it takes a toll. Generally speaking, players don't have long careers, although we've seen that change with Mundy, Pav, and Hearn, the first real generation of like 300 plus gamers. I think it was a bad idea to have WA teams now. They should have just gone to South Australia. Come on, man. So what happened? There's a centre bounce. Did Fremantle kick a goal? Must have. Dean Cox, Eagles coach 2025. Tell you what, it's not a bad shout. You'd think. I know they're saying that he's being groomed as Longmire's replacement. Chesser bombs it out of the centre square. But you'd think if the Eagles job came available to Dean Cox, you'd think he would take it, right? That being said, I'm not calling for it. Freo haven't quite clicked today, says Joycey. Still a bit of a disconnect. Yes, a fair assessment, I would say. It has felt like you've left a few goals on the table, which we kind of have as well, but I think it's certainly true for Freo. But generally have been dominating everything like outside the 450. And Marek has kicked to the left, so we are 29-66. I don't have a favourite Sandful team, Riley, other than I know there's one called the Eagles, so I'd probably go with them. In fact, aren't they just called Eagles? I could be wrong. That's true, yeah, we really need to expand into Victoria, Heath. So Kelly is out there. Eagles get a couple of repeat inside 50s. That hasn't been common today. Oh, massively deliberate. It is possible he was going for his teammate. In fact, it was so blatant, I can only assume he was going for his teammate. Nobody would expect Luke Ryan to make a mistake that bad. So I think he was just unlucky that the play wasn't actually there. And Locke Rawlinson gets a shot on goal for the second time today. Oh, he's flower bagged it. Unlucky. Marek didn't hit that sweet. And it has missed 3 goals, 12. God. Woodville West Torrens are the Eagles. Okay. Yeah, you can see how little I know. Yeah, I was aware of Woodville West Torrens. Good spoil by Jamo. Emmett. Oh, did he just falcon his teammate from point blank range? Yeah, got to be happy with Fremantle's pressure, you'd think. They've applied it fairly well. Ours, I think players are putting in an effort, but it doesn't seem as... Oh, Rawlinson, great tackle on a much bigger and more experienced player. Rawlinson must weigh 70 kilos. And he did well to bring Jordan Clark down. Good tackle, good technique. Makes up for the bit of a flower bag. Oh, Marek has scrubbed a kick, so that's a little frustrating. Had plenty of time, and that could have set us up for a shot on goal, with no doubt. That's annoying. At least it's a competitive game. It could still blow out, Kev. You do feel like there's a bit of a damn wall, potentially. But it's been a good couple of minutes now. We've got 3 or 4 inside 50s in a row. For a couple of behinds. That's the only annoying thing. Edwards. Nice. Good left-handed handball there from Edwards. Made all the difference that he was able to use his left there. And now Waterman has a shot. Oh, he's hit the post. Very tough shot on goal that from Waterman. So we are accumulating behinds. None of them have been gimmies. They've just kind of been like from the boundary or something like that. I think there's either 6 or 7 quarters Eagles edits. I don't know if they're going to do the full 6 or 7. I don't know if I will stream the whole 6 or 7. We'll see. So Fremantle go inside 50. Amos, that's a good pass, but also a very good defensive effort from Hunt. Oh, is that Noah Long? Noah Long's back out there. That's great. Has he been out there for long? Pun. But I feel like I haven't really noticed Noah Long since his injury, if he's been on the whole time. Wardham is my lookalike. Christian, that's horrible. His haircut is so bad. Like, it was cute for a season or two. Now it's like, okay, you just look like that now, bro. I kind of like the Gehrig-esque mullet that he's got. I'm not hating on that, but it's like the front is like a crop cut almost. It's weird. Good pass from unnamed Fremantle player. Hunt's been a really good pickup, I agree, Rogie. West Coast kicking is still a serious worry. Yeah, do you mean at goal or in general? But either way, I agree. Michael Frederick, yes. So wrong. But so right! Cringe. So what's happened there? So Jamo has elected not to get anywhere near Amos, who just takes an uncontested mark. I felt like Jamo could have tried a lot harder there. He might not have really been a realistic chance to spoil, but he didn't try. He could have made that awkward. Maybe he just misread the ball. Hello, Amusement Productions. That's why they call you that. It's just, the string is just stuck right as he had a shot. It sounded like it might have been a goal. Eagles edits reckons Free will be top 4 or 6. Oh, top 4 for 6 years straight. Wow. I like that prediction. I'll take that. I need a haircut. My mullet is out of control. Really? How bad is it? Like, what would you compare it to? Like Jack Stephen? When he had a really bad one? I'll give you a score update in a sec. I just, the stream just died for a second. Oh yeah, Werty providing some insight onto Harry Mackay. I haven't really caught the game yet. I have to go back and research now, but I did see Kane Corns kind of chipped his... He said Mackay still can't kick. The goal went through for Amos, 72-31. Sasquatch Frio says Amos could finish with a bag. What's he on? I haven't really paid attention. Will Brody, 50-metre penalty. Yeah, I definitely think Rosie over Rao as well, Joycey, for sure. Get out of it, Graz. He's missed. Sorry, I just catch on the chat. Am I coming back to if West Coast look like playing finals? No, I wouldn't come back to Perth for finals. I would if we were in the grand final, but obviously that's not going to happen this year. Kane Corns doesn't have Port Adelaide in the top 8. I did see that. I thought that was interesting. I think that's just like negative fan mindset where teams, some people just don't rate their team high on purpose. Trev's a heap less optimistic about this year than I was an hour or so ago. I get it, but I would urge you just not to take too much out of this game. I think we should be judged on, our first month of the season. Because our last preseason was awful, and I thought we came out against North and GWS and were better than we had expected based on the preseason. So I like, if we come out this year and play like we did against North and GWS and Fremantle in the first 3 rounds, I would say that's a good improvement. Like, if we can make that our new normal. I know we lost to North, but from memory, that was just a really bad lapse in the second quarter. I mean, we lost by a few points. And we challenged Fremantle in a serious way. Harley Reid in the pocket. He's kicked out of the full, damn it. Tough shot. Where was I going with that? Oh, we beat GWS by like 5 goals. And, yeah, seriously challenged Freo. So, like, we can try and make that our baseline, I think. The score is 31-73 to Fremantle. I am watching it on KO. Didn't we beat Port in a preseason game? No, I think that was last year. And then we got slaughtered by Adelaide the next week. And that will probably happen again next week. So, yeah, I mean, us beating Port wasn't impressive. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't impressive at the time. But also, yeah, not that indicative. Getting slaughtered by Adelaide turned out to be indicative. Rawlinson's had a little bit of impact on this game, just a little bit. His kicking hasn't been great. But these things happen, and his 3 goals, 14-32 now at 3/4 time to 73. Don't have Port in my top 8. Doing 1s and 2s, best one. Wow, that's in depth. See, I made the same point, Rogie, about Port Adelaide's midfield, and cop some criticism. Oh God, here we go. Drewzy's calling me again. Yeah. This takes me back to 12 months ago. You called me in another, like, halftime of another fucking preseason game trying to gloat.
Yeah, we finished fucking top 5 that year, bro.
No, that was last year.
Nah, shut up. I was in England last year.
Yeah, you still called me. You still streamed.
Did I stream the preseason game? I don't reckon I did. I reckon you're talking bollocks.
I reckon you did.
Nah.
Anyway.
Maybe the derby.
Maybe it was 2022, actually. Maybe it was.
It was.
Okay.
Because I do remember doing that.
Yeah.
Me and Sean are convinced that West Coast players are just taking trick shots.
A lot of the shots have been against the boundary line, yeah.
All of them have. Like,
yeah.
Number 36 has kicked one from outside 50, bellied one from the pocket. Harley Reid tried to snap one from the pocket.
Yeah.
Someone tried to take a shot from like 75 metres out. You're just playing trick shots. It's like It's like Rust Modern Warfare 2 out there, bro. Just doing spins with the intervention.
You know what would be a good tactic? Them kicking directly in front 15 metres out. Is that what you're saying? That should be the tactic.
Yeah. I did
why don't they just do that?
Research on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it turns out if you kick from the goal square, you'll score more goals.
Yeah.
Good analysis.
Did you find that quarter demoralising at all? Was there anything you like to see?
Dude, bruh, it's pre-season. Like, no one's getting demoralised in pre-season. Like, North torched Collingwood, like, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to completely gloss over it, but I think... But I'd certainly not demoralised. It's just, it is what it is. Like, this time last year, we beat Port. So, I'm not too concerned. I do think we did see a lot more younger Eagles on the field that quarter, and we got torched, no doubt. So, I'm not too phased at this point.
Who would you like to look off?
Fuck. No, it's not really one of those games where anyone's standing out. I would say that Fremantle's had a few standouts. Like, Emmett's looked good. But other than that, like, are you super excited about anyone in particular?
I think Trianis has looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, okay. For us, the clear best on ground has been Jake
Pretty good on
Waterman.
the wing. Jordan Clark off halfback has looked pretty lively.
He has, but I mean, a lot of the possessions he's got is just him being given the ball in 30 metres of space. Like, and he's a good player, but it's like, come on. But Jake Waterman, I'd say, has been our best player. I think that's probably the biggest win from this game, is him, because he was really ill last year, nearly retired, so him coming back. Joycey is saying, please don't tell me that Drewzy's gloating for a pre-season game. In fact, pre-season, he points out. So you've been called out by another Dockers fan, bro.
I wouldn't say I'm gloating. I haven't really said how good Freo are playing. I'm more, like, happy. Well, not even happy, just curious about how you think West Coast are going. Really?
Well, you did just say, are you demoralised, bro?
I would have been after watching that quarter. I was fucking diabolical.
Yeah, but I'm sure Collingwood are not freaking out about their lacklustre performance either.
Look, all I saw then from West Coast was, like, you trying to control the ball out of your, like, I think we kicked a point, and you chipped the ball, like, 3 times and then turned it over, and then Josh Tracy, like, snaps the ball and it dribbled across the goal line. I was like, boy, that's ugly.
Yeah, we have struggled to get the ball out of the back half. I'd say Fremantle's pressure has been pretty good against
Thanks, buddy.
the young side. Like, well, their intensity's up, and I don't think ours is. But
Nothing to be concerned about.
no, look, if we're playing like this in round one, I still wouldn't be that demoralised. Like, okay, if the first half was in round one, like, the first half was fine. The third quarter, we just didn't really look like we were super in the game. So hopefully the first half is more a reflection of reality than the second half so far. But I could see this game blowing out a little bit more because, you know, the some of the centre bounces are like Livingston, Campbell Chesser. Yeah, I don't see this game getting closer, but that's all right.
What number is Livingston?
Oh, I'm not good with numbers. I don't know, like 39 or something. I don't know. I don't know what number it is. I'm really bad with numbers now.
That, like, butchered 2 set shots at?
What was that, sorry?
Who's 36 who butchered 2 set shots
Oh,
at?
that's
Like,
Locke Rawlinson. I mean, he was just taken in the rookie draft and is like 67 kilos or something, so I'm not too phased. I'm actually pleased he did bring down Jordan Clark with a really good holding the ball in the middle of the ground, so I'm actually more happy than anything from what I've seen from him.
Great.
But the skills have been porridge from both teams. Like, we're 3 goals 14, but I mean, Fremantle skills have been better than ours, but I mean, like, it's not like both teams are absolutely polished right now.
For sure. I think it's because the intensity isn't higher, like, neither is, like, the skill level sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, Max Hansen said
Yeah.
Livingston is 39. I nailed it. Maybe I'm good with
Nice.
numbers.
Well done, buddy. All right, I'm going
Thanks.
to get back to watching this game.
All right. Good luck.
All right, enjoy.
Cheers. Bye. Sorry, guys. Here we go. All West Coast needs is some good players. I agree, Christian. We're coming back from the last quarter. Pies after halftime were basically the VFL side. Yeah, fair enough. But generally speaking, preseason games don't actually realize. Actually, that's probably worth a video. Never mind, I'm going to do a video. The relationship between preseason games and then what actually happens that season. That could be an interesting video concept. As Rogi points out, Freo smashed the Eagles in 2018's preseason. Exactly.
Clark, teammates and midfielders wanted Tim Keller to use his hands there. Both Hunter and Yo.
I think it also might have happened in 2021. Freo beat us in the preseason. And obviously they ended up beating us in the second derby that year, but we finished high that year and beat them in the first one by 10 goals. So again, I just think we generally are poor against Fremantle in preseason games. That being said, Fremantle are a better team than us, no doubt. So, I'm not concerned like that we're losing to Freo. The question is how close is this, what we're seeing right now, to what we're going to see in the season? And we can justifiably think that this is not necessarily indicative. The SEN coverage last year was wild. What's that with respect to? Sorry.
Yeah, well, he's a starting 6 backman, so it's good to see him out there
Jackson. Well done. Nice goal. He could be very big this year, I reckon, Luke Jackson.
Really looks like he enjoys his footy, doesn't he?
Very good player.
Which I absolutely love to see. Always a big smile on his face.
Let's watch this again.
If that's in the real stuff.
See, he probably is one of a few that could really take... on the replay, that goal wasn't as sick as I thought it was initially, but still a good goal. But he is one player that really could elevate Fremantle. If we're talking about like explosive improvement. No, yeah, that's a good point from Scully. To do that on your left foot at 200 plus centimetres is still pretty handy.
I think that's a good thing. That's a goal through and through there. No reaction from Cal Jamison, which tells you he didn't touch it. Or either that,
Oh, that sucks, Eric. Hugh Jackson. Yeah, I remember him getting drafted.
scream and moan for every little bit.
More than half the year. What's the injury? Joycey says, thoughts on Sturt? I don't have a massive opinion on him. The last I really followed, as Yo makes a nice clearance, that's hot. That's the midfield we want to see, or the midfield stuff we want to see. Last I heard he was playing a bit on the wing, and I thought there was some success there, but now he's probably more forward. I haven't really noticed him in this game. So I'm more interested in your opinion, but you obviously think he's been disappointing. How tall is Sturt? He's not that tall, hey? Like, I feel like he's just probably 2 or 3 inches shorter than he needs to be for the player that he is in the modern game. Maybe? Is he like 185? Maybe he's taller than I realised. G'day, Epic Indian. Elliot Yo is such a hog, give to the young fella. I liked it. I liked what we saw from there. It'd be nice. It was nice to win a clearance. Angus, that's a good hypothetical. Lose every game, but that's the goal. I mean, I'd probably rather win games, so by default. Oh, just a little bit of a fumble there from Allen. Hope Graz10 wasn't watching it. Rollinson. Another behind. There's 3 goals, 15. So I'd rather a scenario where we win games. I don't want to have a winless season, Angus. So Fremantle moving the ball from back half to forward half fairly easily in this game. There's no doubt about that. Jackson takes a good mark over Barras. Barras looking a little lackluster in general. Had an amazing 2022 and was okay last year, but looks lost at the moment. Good mark by Jackson though. He's done a few silly things, Barras. I'm not trying to slaughter him for that specific things. So. Yeah, fair enough, Joycey. Emmett has certainly had more impact. I agreed. I think Emmett's would be my choice from what I've seen. Yeah. I don't know much about Voss. Is it Patrick Voss? The former Essendon player that he just got SSP'd or DFA'd? Oh, that sounds dirty. He's got SSP'd. God. Max, the score is 3 goals, 15. To qualify that, though, it's not like we're getting gimmies. We've had a few like random snaps from the boundary kind of thing. A couple of shots that were touched through because they fell short. Like 3 goals, 15. Yeah, I think Fremantle could be relatively pleased with this performance. Again, it's pre-season for sure, but they look sharp. Their intensity has been good. They've clearly outworked West Coast as much as anything. And so as far as round 1 preparation goes, I don't think there's too much disappointment there. I don't think we're providing a serious challenge in this second half, but, Fremantle hasn't really put a foot wrong. There's Noah Long takes the ball out of bounds. That's adorable, Joycey. Thanks, mate. Catch you later. That's adorable. I want a Princess Fairy bath.
A long run into the forward line during that play, so they're just getting back for this boundary throw in now.
McStay will never play again. What?
Out of the congestion, it's Yo.
Williams taps it out of bounds. McTraitor.
Ryan. Still missing his puck.
Agreed, Graz. That's good analysis. Score is 33 for 80 to 85, by the way.
Yes, he's going to be pushing for round one. Cox, yes, so
Permanent back soreness.
stress factor is stress his leg.
Speaking of, that is Tom Barras, so I do feel for the guy.
Cripps.
So if his form dip is due to injury, I cannot blame him.
Ryan. Brody. And the Dockers been
Probably just struggling as that only key back in the team. Like, structurally, what's his role? He's more of an interceptor. Yeah, we definitely need a key back. We definitely need a key back.
He needs to continue to do this and get his hands on the footy. Show his strength.
Exactly, Russell.
Every player in the
Yeah.
AFL has weaknesses.
None of our shots have really come from meaningful forward thrusts.
Well either, but what he did was bring his real strengths, and that's what we need to see from Will Brody as well.
It has been a while since we kicked a goal. Are we going to live stream every West Coast Eagles game? You know, excuse me, Power Ninja. I haven't thought about it that much. Some of them are going to be at like 4 a.m. for me. And so I'll just weigh it up. So I'm not going to make a commitment to doing it every week, but, you know, I do often get up like at 4 to watch games. So it is possible. That being said, you know, if I want to have a night out on the beers and not commit to doing a 4 a.m. live stream the next day, because they're always weekends, that might happen. And I'm going to travel a little bit. Here we go. Chessa. It was a pressured kick. He was at full tilt. But I just love Chessa, not knocking him, but like obviously composure is the number one thing he's lacked. And I'm just waiting for that moment he bursts out and kicks that goal that stuns us and goes, yes, this kid's got it. And he just keeps like flower bagging him. He'll be okay. It's just mildly funny. Three goals is not good enough no matter the time of year. Hopefully they get the forward line off the season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the forwards to blame. Like, I just don't think the balls come inside 50 in a fast and accurate enough way to give them a real chance. You know, some of the kicks for goal have been bad, but, you know, some of them have been decent shots for tough kicks, and they've still gone through from behind. So, yeah, once again, it's kind of hard to assess the forwards. Any Eagles fans in the chat that are not aware, I do have another YouTube channel now called True Eagle that is pinned to the top of this chat, and I will be doing a review of this game after. There is a lack of structure, exactly. Yeah, like I don't feel like our intensity has been super poor. There's just been a clear like lack of organisation with our pressure. You know, Fremantle's kind of been there in waves. They're kind of set up. We've got like random guys sprinting in different direction, chasing players. So it's not an effort thing, I don't think. But it's just a lack of organisation, which could be a lack of effort leading up the ground. Like, I don't know. Billy the Difference, Frampton. God. This is such a funny nickname to have. The Difference.
see how this season unfolds.
84 likes, guys. Thank you for being here. Chuck a like on the stream. It would be nice to get to 100. It does help in the algorithm. So if you have been here for a bit, I would appreciate it.
This year, as to West Coast.
Out to Chesser.
Last year's grand finalists.
Bit of an up and under blind kick.
Played Port Adelaide in round one. Chesser up to the
Did Waterman infringe there?
Dockers
Yeah. I feel like we've given away a lot of free kicks today. That's been the annoying thing as well. Just momentum sapping moments. Gaff slaps the ball aimlessly on his foot. Not the only Eagle to do that today.
Davies. That was a well-worked defensive move.
Oh, well done.
Showed too much
Petrocelli.
His kick, a little wayward, too fierce at the
Ah.
He takes Clark to
Is that
ground.
ball? Probably not.
In trouble is the right call. It's
Hey, on the ball.
probably the right
We get a rare shot on goal. Yep. No long.
The most favourite decision umpires like to pay. You can see them coming from a long
Still haven't drafted a high-end midfielder in O'Brien's reign.
Walker pounced on that.
I disagree, Trev. I think you can categorise Reed and Hewitt as mids. I get the point that Reed plays back, but I think that just speaks to his versatility. I don't think that's his weakness as a midfielder. I think he is a midfielder.
Noah Long is the beneficiary.
Noah Long has missed to the right. Jinbi, I'd say like is more of a convert. He's more of a midfield convert, but I think Hewitt is a legitimate midfielder. That being said, you did say O'Brien's reign, which opens up a very long period of time there. Wait, when did O'Brien formally take over as list manager? Because then, well, then you'd have to include Gaff and Shuey, right? Like I'm actually forgetting when O'Brien, or was that Woodhouse? That might have been Woodhouse.
Well placed. He didn't quite know which forward was going to run onto it. As it turns out, it's Colin Livingstone.
And I feel like Sheed should have been a better player than he's turned out to be. He's just had a few ordinary years in a row, and it's starting to tarnish the overall perception of him as a player. I don't think that how bad he's played in the last couple of years is a reflection of what his ability is. I think he's underperformed. Livingston. Nice. Nice kick from about 40 out on a bit of an angle. Livingston kicks his first goal. And nice to see. I think he's done okay today, considering he's 18.
It's really good to see. I think there's some friends and family here, surely. I'm trying to find the pocket. There'll be a bunch of them, I'm sure, on his home deck.
I'm glad you lost 18 too, Rogie.
Times before.
4 goals, 16-40 to 12-13-85.
Good off the boot as well. Really good, and all his teammates got around him. Look, Jack Williams' composure there to connect inside 50. Was it? It was Jack Williams. Just looked up, slowed down, didn't bomb it forward. Circumstance. Andrew Gaff on the other side.
Angus is asking about Craig Vozzo,
Kicked it long, and it was
I presume, who is now your CEO. So he was our list manager. Then he was our head of football operations, I think. So he did a number of varied roles. Like his background is actually as a lawyer. He's not strictly a football person, but he was obviously overseeing the football operations. So the narrative I heard was that Vozzo is quite a savvy sort of business operator, and was kind of being groomed to be Nisbet's replacement before things sort of took a downturn in his personal life, I think. Now, obviously not at the club anymore. There was a criticism of Vozzo as list manager that he was too generous at the trade table. He was negotiating deals and had the philosophy of let's just get the deal done as quickly as possible. That's why we saw Tim Kelly's deal done on day 2 of the trade period for a very generous offer. So there's a knock on that, but he is respected as being savvy. So that's pretty much all I know about Craig Vozzo. Cardi says, are you taking more positives or negatives out of this game? That's a good question, Cardi. I'm fairly indifferent to it. I don't know if there's massive positives to it. This game has kind of gone how I would expect a regular season game to go, at least in the first half. I don't think the second half is how we're going to come out this year. That's a bit optimistic maybe, but it's kind of been what we expected. the fact that we don't have injuries, like, so Jinby's got a head knock, so hopefully that is nothing. Long's back on the field. Matthew Flynn I have no idea about, so the Matthew Flynn thing could be bad, but that was technically pre-game. So I just think it's good for us to get a good competitive hit out. Like, we've obviously been trying to do something this off-season in terms of building identity and game style. And this is the first time we've had it tested in a competitive hit out, and it's been tough. Definitely been tough. And I think it's just a good hit out. And even though it's only a pre-season game, it is good experience for Harley Reid. It is good experience for Campbell Chesser. So I wouldn't say there's massive positives, but I don't think there's massive negatives either. And I just realised that, Angus, sorry, I just gave you a fully fledged answer on the wrong person. As Livingston kicks it out of the back half. O'Brien as a scout. What do I think of O'Brien as a recruiter? I mean, I think he did alright. Like, I mean, he was involved in recruiting for a long time at West Coast, and you can't really deny that while there have been some criticisms along the way and a lack of top-end midfielders like Trevor alluded to, he did build a premiership list, right? So talent identification, I think, is solid. What was interesting with us, I think, is that he was our national recruiting manager while being based in Victoria. And we had our own, obviously, scouting network in WA, and I think there were times where, Reid's tried to take too many on again on the ball. That's fine. There was nowhere, really, he could have gone with that. But wait for the headlines. Wait for the headlines. And so there were, getting back to O'Brien, I think there were cases where the WA scouts wanted the WA kid, and O'Brien, being based in Victoria, would go for the Victorian option. So that's why we tended to draft out of Victoria a fair bit, like Brander, sort of New South Wales, wasn't it? But TAC Cup and Duggan and Venables, like that sort of era. He does look like Elton John. He looks like Austin Powers. Cardi says, no injuries will make you that much more competitive. Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah. It's a low bar, but yeah. Cooper Simpson kicks a goal. I was a little bit caught up in the general talk there. I kind of zoned out of the game a tiny little bit. Gonna fill up my water bottle again, guys. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Erasmus ships to Bailey Banfield, I think. Who's 42 for Freo? He's a big boy. Is that Noble? At a punt? The Eagles look a bit tired at the moment. Petricelli. Interesting handball. Backwards. I don't know if that even went to the right Eagle. Brayshaw. Uncontested mark for Gaff in the goal square. Who's been the best player on the field is a tricky one to answer. I don't know if anyone's played long enough to really stand out. Probably Jai Amos, actually. Luke reckons Luke Jackson. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. But I think Amos has kicked quite a few. Has there been much chat on Brayshaw? So Heath, I did a video on it, but I didn't really go into like super depth. I just kind of commented on it happening. DMT asks, is Duggan injured? I have not seen evidence of that. I hope not.
Simpson again to the top of the square. Sturt lurking. Banfield as well.
Nah, Duggan's there.
Reed.
Brady Hoff comes out of the back half. I don't know if it's actually from the Maynard hit, Heath. I thought I saw that. I think it's because he obviously got knocked out. I think the only thing that came to light was that he had like microscopic changes in his brain, but I believe it's from the Maynard hit. I don't think it happened at training. There you go. Christian confirms what I suspected. Duggan is playing Trev. Yes, I don't know if you're being facetious, but yes. Yes, he hasn't really done a whole lot. Does Barras look a bit heavy? Oh, crazy. Oh, Reed's limping and pulled a muscle or cramping. He could be cramping. Fingers crossed. So yeah, Reed's passed the ball off and immediately started limping, but it looked like a cramp limp to me. And there he is again, and cramping like so bad. I think it's cramp. But yeah, that was brave. He went for a contest after just recovering from the cramp and then cramped again. Oh, and Petrocelli's been knocked out. He's not knocked out. He's got a head knock. Carnage. Absolute carnage. Which is one of the most commonly said phrases. Carnage. Uh-oh. Oh. Holy fuck. So Reed might have actually done a knee.
Worse than cramp.
He came down with cramp, Harley Reid.
Oh, no.
I watched him. He came down with cramp, and then he tried to get back into the game and get himself onto this as he.
He's running off.
Has anyone started breathing again?
Well, Harley Reid looking at his knee. He had cramp.
He's limping off. That is not necessarily an amazing sign either.
In Western Australia in years, and
He had cramp, and then he went for a marking contest. Let's hope it's still cramp. It looks like it.
that's a terrific result. But
You're right. So anyone not watching, so Harley Reid's clearly done a like crammed, sort of recovered, went back for a contest, spoiled, came down and grabs his knee. So the way he's lying on the ground and was grabbing his knee, or grabbing that part of it, it wasn't clearly grabbing his knee. It kind of looked like a knee. But the way he was on the ground and grabbing his leg didn't look like cramp. Like when you're cramping on the leg, you're trying to straighten your leg out and you're sort of writhing, but he wasn't. He was kind of like... It's hard to describe if you didn't see it. And so he could have sprained something. Best case scenario. He did run off. It has happened in the past where players have walked off after an ACL. Someone's kicked the goal. There's so much going on here. I'm overstimulated. An Eagles player kicked the goal. Yo kicked the goal. Nice. Snapped. So Reed jogged off and doesn't look too devo. So let's not panic. Simo just gave him a nonchalant pat on the back. I don't think... We're trying to read something that we can't really see yet. But fingers crossed.
Top 20 of the AFL midfielder when he's going, Elliot and then
I actually had this thought. I was like, I reckon if Reed does an ACL, hypothetically, touch wood, Kane Corns would blame West Coast. He's the sort of guy who would blame West Coast for it. So 26 minutes gone in the last quarter. It is 46 plays 91 to Fremantle. Oh, it's Reedy, the ruckman for Fremantle that I didn't know. I didn't think it looked like Noble, but he was tall. Sometimes the KO stream goes blurry. That's why it's hard for me to always tell who that is. That was a bit of a reckless tackle. Tom Emmett, not Josh Emmett, Scully. The tackle was fine. It was just violent and could have gone wrong. But he's okay. He's not in trouble. He's all right. Definitely holding the ball.
Watch how big this tackle is. You're going to have to be careful with that this year. You don't want to be slinging players to the ground.
Yeah, it was a little bit slingy, that tackle. I'm just saying you needed to be careful. But no free kick was necessary. He didn't land on his head or anything.
Still a live ball. Banfield directs it to Brayshaw, who gives it up. And Waterman
Jeez, fingers crossed on Harley Reid. I'm laughing out of fear.
50 metre, the second.
This is nervous laughter. Far out, man. Imagine.
Watch Jack Williams come in to man the mark. I actually thought he did a pretty good job. Umpire was pretty hot on it though. I'm going to have to make real amends for this Tom Emmett business.
90 likes, guys. 95 in the chat. Thank you. Anyone who has not liked the stream, I would appreciate it if you did.
My favourite Freo Docker. So I'm going to have to get right around him.
Is it Cooper Simpson?
Irrespective.
No, I'm not sure. Someone's lining up for Freo.
Penalty.
And they have missed.
Cost them any more than a point. Ethan Hughes not a noted goal kicker. As we tick closer to full time here, 27 scoring shots. And the Dockers
Rogie, I don't know if I'm
to equal.
tired. I just did not understand that.
Out of defence. Oh, that was brilliant by Jack Williams. And then
Oh, you're referring to...
pass was
I think you're referring to somebody else. That's fine.
category.
Fingers crossed he's okay. Yeah,
To say the least.
I'm not massively concerned. I don't think it
Tackle of Gaff.
looked dire. Like, he might miss weeks. Oh my god. Hoff is also down.
Eye on him. He looks in pain.
Fuck. I swear to God, motherfucker. If Hoff is injured,
Keep you updated
grow
on
up,
that.
Heath. Hoff is writhing in pain and he's not grabbing any particular part of his body.
Tackle late at half forward. But that was awkward. Didn't look good.
Well, they've just been so impressed with Brady Hoff in this off-season. He came down from a big marking contest, tunneled. He's running off the ground now, so
So Hoff is running off too.
it's just sort of
I don't think I've breathed in like 5 minutes.
much out of that as he increases his speed off the ground.
Eagles 50 out. They score late. Chesser.
It's always Fremantle. These injury things. Like, fingers crossed, like, we might still get it through this game not too badly, but like, there was that derby in 2022 where Chesser and She both did ankles and Yo did a calf. Then there was the Carnage Derby of last year, and now, like, in this last quarter,
It's all labour intensive until Simpson hits Banfield. A couple of numbers free.
it would, Rogue. Are you referring to
Driscoll.
Maynard, or are you referring to... I presume you're referring to Maynard, because I sort of...
That's what he thrives
I started talking about Emmett tackles. I'm not sure if you're referring to that. And the siren is gone. Riders O'Driscoll kicks a goal.
It's a big win for the Dockers.
Joycey, yeah. So Reed has a cramp, and then he recovers, goes back to a contest, comes down, and it looks like he was grabbing his knee. So he ran off the field. So who knows? So yeah, he went off and didn't come back on, but that was only like 5 minutes ago. So
The Dockers head to Adelaide next week during the pre-season.
I wish, Max. I don't wish, actually. That's dark, but yeah. He says the medical team is a serious change. So they have seen a serious change, but I don't know if you can blame preparation on those injuries happening. Again, Hoff just looked like he was in pain and then ran off as well. So I don't know. It feels pointless to speculate at this point. The final siren is gone. G'day, Brooklyn. Good to have you. Shout out. Likewise, good to see you. Just going to turn this down for a little bit. The Hoff injury was very similar to the Chester injury against Freo. Do you think so? Like, I didn't really see it. I thought he might have been grabbing his knee as opposed to his ankle. I don't know. I didn't really see it though. So the game ends with some tension. We don't know how bad Harley Reid's potential injury is, if he is injured. Likewise with Hoff. So that is deflating. That's a deflating way to end the game. G'day CJ Coast. G'day Hot Plastic. No worries, mate. North Tragic. Yeah, for sure. Nosy said this doesn't look good. I fear this would happen. You know, I didn't really let it enter my mind that we might have injuries. And yet, here we are. I mean, I don't want to panic yet, but it is a really sour way to end a game that kind of petered out from our point of view. Archie's asking how much more. There will be some more action. I don't know how much of it will be on KO. The commentators haven't wrapped it up. I'm getting a little hungry. I don't know how long we'll keep going for, but we'll keep going for a bit. Jeez. The thing with this injury situation at West Coast, like, we'd all love to blame one thing and rectify that thing and have a simple solution, but the truth is it's kind of been a mixture of all these different factors. You know, one of them was soft tissue injuries to repeat players. To some extent, you could blame strength and conditioning for that, and then there's also things like genetics and those players just being old in some cases. So there's that. Then there's maybe the surface a little bit. Surface undoubtedly hard. And ankle injuries have been a problem there at Optus Stadium and Mineral Resources Park since the start, but it doesn't explain the whole thing. And then there's just horrific impact injuries, and we seem to be getting a lot of that shit. Like, you know, Jamie Cripps breaking his ankle last year, Chester doing his knee last year, all in the same space of about 5 minutes. You know, the two injuries we've seen today, potential injuries, touch wood, have both been impact injuries, so you can't blame preparation on that. So it's just, there is a whole shit mix of luck here, as much as there is anything else. Flynn, Jinby, Hoff and Reid. I did forget about... Oh my God, that's dire. I did forget about Jinby's head knock, but I think he'll be... You know, fingers crossed. Like, it didn't look like a bad head knock, but I realised these things are unpredictable. Fuck. There was a question of, am I uploading tomorrow? Yeah, I've got a... I think I've got a tier maker coming out tomorrow, but I will possibly do my round review today. I haven't decided that yet, but what I will be doing is recording a review of this game on the True Eagle channel pretty much straight after this. I might have some lunch. So subscribe to the True Eagle channel if you're interested in Eagles content. Not necessarily if you're not. Toby says, Reid looked okay. Seemed like cramps. It did at first. The second one looked a little bit more concerning. Trev says all injuries are conditioning related other than impact collision. Agreed. Wait, so you're saying ankles and ACLs are included in impact/collision? Because, yeah, as far as I'm aware, ankle. The thing is, though, we have done a lot of ankles and we've had one ACL. So that is a huge factor, and that is luck. There's a lot of luck that's been involved, unfortunately. As for conditioning, I agree for the most part, but at some point, perhaps you'd have to concede that like a 33-year-old Luke Shuey and his hamstrings is probably down to his body to some extent. But that's not everyone, right? So then there's ones that are not like that, where like Petrocelli just kept doing hamstrings. Burgill's done his hamstrings. Like he's 18 or 19. Who else has been there? Harry Edwards just permanently injured. Did I say Luke Edwards' groin? I want to say Zach Langdon had a repeat injury at some point. So that is also true. And we've made changes in our strength and conditioning. But I imagine that takes time, though. He was laughing when he was on the bench with Simo. Mate, Toby, that's probably the best thing I've heard in a while. Thank you for telling me that. The fact that he's laughing is a great sign. Jungle says we look slower than last year. Agreed. It is pre-season though. So I'm not too concerned about that. Thanks, Hot Plastic. I appreciate that, mate. That means a lot. Trev says, no, ACL and ankles are related to the adaptation of the nervous system. I mean, you clearly know more about this than me, but I feel like, you know, Chester busting his ankle, getting caught in a tackle, like, it feels... I mean, technically that's still impact, right? Like, if he gets crunched under another player. The foot hotspot thing actually is another good point of a thing that seems to be a common reoccurrence with our players. It happened to Allen. It's happened to Sheed several times. And that, I'd imagine that's conditioning, right? Like, it's got to be. Said about asking what I think of the game. You know what? It was a bit uninspiring. I think at halftime, I would have thought, you know, if we come out like that, or if we're 14 points down in a real game against Fremantle at halftime, that's fine. I would like to see us improve on that and use that as a base. The second half, I don't know what to make of. We just didn't really feature heavily. So I'm not taking too much out of it, to be honest. The final score was 46-98, I think, Fremantle's way. G'day, Colleen. Welcome, mates. Good to have you. What curse did God give us? Yeah, 100%. Is this a comeuppance for the Dom Sheed goal? Did we make a deal with the devil? What do I think of both teams? I think Fremantle can be pleased somewhat with that result. There does seem to be more football action, so I'll leave it on for a little bit longer. Yeah, I think Fremantle got as much out of that game as they could possibly really expect. I don't think in the second half we posed a big challenge. I think they waltzed out of the centre. They did what you'd expect Fremantle to do, and individually there were some good performances they'll be really happy with. So we know Amos and Jackson are good, but I think Tom Emmett might be the biggest win out of today, from what I've seen. Somebody's wearing number 7 for us. Do we have a number? Oh, it's Jimby. And it is not Jimby that is playing. So there's going to be some top-up players in this game. So the game is going to get even more meaningless, but we can look out for some players. How many of these players are actually AFL listed? That I didn't recognise a single Eagle that I recognise at that centre bounce. So I don't know how much of this is worth watching. There are certainly some players that are Eagle listed, like Jordan Baker's there. Oh, Jermaine Jones is playing. That's interesting. So he's got a bit of groin soreness. But the fact he's out there is promising. Jermaine Jones has the ball. Does Livingston play for a while? I know Flynn... Yeah, so Livingston's 18. So I wouldn't have thought that he's the next in. I would have thought Jamo or Williams would start ahead of him in the pecking order. That being said, Livingston playing this game surprised me to begin with. We picked, aside from the injuries, picked a relatively mature team, and there were players that didn't make that cut of 27 that are playing in this game now that I thought would be ahead of Livingston. That being said, Dewar is on the field now. I forgot. I'm sure he was picked originally to play the first game. Nosy says he didn't see Jermaine Jones. Jermaine Jones is on the field now. Oh, Burgill's there. And it'd be interesting to see where he lines up. He's running forward. I wonder if he's playing in the midfield. Barnett wasn't playing, but JJ was. Interesting. You mean the first game or now? Well, You're relentless, Graz.
In the game, he had cramp, which was visible instantly.
Agreed, Rogie. Yeah,
20 seconds later, went down again.
I found that exercise very worthwhile and gave me a lot of insight.
Clutched his knee and
Hence me doing these ranking tier makers, which is still hard.
secondary to what
Um, copped a lot of criticism about North's midfield. I said it was bottom tier because I suggested... Well, I rated it on current quality, right? So, like, talent is one thing. They'd rank highly in talent. But, like, LDU, Simpkin, Wardlaw, you have to take out Taron Thomas, Bailey Scott. Like, it's decent, but, you know, it doesn't bat that deep in terms of exposed form. Was my personal take. But, you know, give it a few years. Obviously, it's going to be a good midfield, but that's not the point of what that tier maker was doing.
rough work, I believe, yesterday. He was set in stone. There was no selection required around what he was going to be doing for the West Coast Eagles. He could be a standalone ruckman. Bailey Williams would come in and chop out where required. But with him not in the side, Bailey Williams comes
Eagles next flag 2026. I don't see that happening. Thoughts on Reed's performance tonight? You know, he wasn't prominent, but when he did get the ball, he did a few okay things. He got caught holding the ball a few times. One of them he had no chance of getting out of. He tried to and he failed. The first one, he probably was a bit ambitious taking on Sarong and got caught. And I'm fine with him testing his strength and failing in a preseason game. And that's fine. I don't think he should be the victim of crazy expectations. So he was fine, without standing out. Simpkin looks like he's losing CBAs. They seem to... Yeah, exactly, Rogie. That was another factor. And he didn't have the same year in 2023 that he did the previous 2 years where he was quite prominent, at least on output. And Fremantle waltz into a goal. So I don't know if I'm going to keep going too much longer on the stream, guys, because I am recognising about 1 in every 6 Eagles. No disrespect to them, but it's probably past the point of adding real value here. Who got injured? It was Reed, which apparently looks minor. Hoff, which looks minor. There is a number 19 out on the field. Maybe I'll see if I can work out if that's Hoff. Because if it's Hoff, then I can relax a little bit.
different jumper in front of you. They've been training for 3-4 months now, so to get a bit of a different look at setups, how teams move the ball, how you defend, how you attack, all of that. It's always different against another side. And so we see some guys.
Oh, Roggy, I wish you could post that in this chat. I go on Big Footy all the time. I might even just do that. Like I can't really blame them for an emotional response. Goat HQ raid. G'day, guys. Chuck a like on the stream, will you? Oh, we got 106 likes. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to click onto Big Footy here and have a little whimsy. I'm scared. It's an emotional place. Yeah, somebody's written, as I'm half watching the game here. Who is that? Oh, it's Johnston. Oh, just took an extra second that he probably shouldn't have in that case. Somebody's saying we won't win a game all year. People just melt hard. Thanks, Bonnie. Thoughts on Jeremy Sharp? I am getting rated. More like Harley Peed. Come on, man. Jeremy Sharp. I don't have a strong opinion. Did he play today? Maybe that's all I need to say, because I didn't notice him once, if he did play. With all due respect, I don't think I remember seeing Jeremy Sharp play. Oh, my likes are going up. Thank you guys for who's liked it. The leader of our raid. G'day, Goat HQ. Cheers, mate. Thanks for the raid. Go check out AFL Goat HQ. My general thoughts on Jeremy Sharp. It was worth getting him. I think there's a positional need there for Fremantle. I think he's worth giving a shot to, for sure. I don't know to what extent he'll really have a long-term career. I think that remains to be seen. Did get delisted at Gold Coast, but probably makes sense for them to go for him. Sharp was ill. Thank you, Griffin Hell. That makes sense, because I would have thought he would be picked in this game if it... to test out how he'd go. Excuse me. Thanks, West Coast Eagles are the best. Appreciate that, mate. Do I like cricket? I do, but I'm pretty casually into cricket. I did try and make some BBL content this summer to try and get through the off-season. What is wrong with me? And, wow, my voice is going. It is hard doing 3-hour streams by yourself. Eagles kick a goal. But the BBL content did not slap. Harley Sparks got a goal for West Coast. I've heard that name before. He looks familiar, but I don't know if I actually know him. Somebody points out the first four quarters had 21 scoring shots to 28. That's not too bad, but we didn't have great scoring shots. There's no doubt about that. I tell you what, actually, I'll give you guys a funny anecdote from Big Footy. There was this guy, and I think his username was 88 miles per hour. I think this is him. Forgive me if I got the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. I think what happened was after the pre-season derby, where we lost, I think it was like 61 points we lost to Fremantle. He switched to Fremantle. Like, you can change which team you go for on Big Footy. And he started supporting Fremantle at the start of 2018. That is one of the worst stories I've ever heard. Mason, you're a legend. Thanks, mate. Also, Mason, I want to do your idea of how to choose your AFL team. I've been thinking about how I'm going to do it. Where can I find your video, if you don't mind me checking it out, just for inspiration? I've got an idea of how I'm going to do it, so I'm not going to rip off your video. I'm just kind of curious where I can find that. Is it on a different channel to the Mason West one? I hope I'm thinking of the right bloke, by the way. I think I am, yeah.
Yes, it's gained some traction, this map simulation, because fireworks emanating around Mineral Resources Park.
What is Big Footy? It's just a forum, a website, where it's like a community. Sort of like Reddit.
There it is. A goal apiece, 10 minutes down, and short interlude.
Fife was good today, Griffin Hell. He played well. I think him being in the midfield does help them, 100%. Yeah, Mason, of course, messaged me on Insta. That's cool. I'll probably check it out after the stream. But so that quarter is ended. That went really quick. It must be like 10 minutes. Oh, is that what's happening, Toby? They've stopped the game because I did hear the siren. Yeah, I was kind of talking while that happened, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what happened. So there's a bit of a gap. I think I might call this stream pretty soon, guys. It's been good fun, and I hate to leave while we have so many people still on and engaging. It is good fun, but it has been 3 hours, and I do still need to do some work today. And I know this is work, but yeah, might leave it there. It's been good. Like, again, after I really have time to reflect, I'll do a video on a True Eagle channel, pinned to the top of this chat, talking about this game. Nothing really groundbreaking. I think the main thing I'll be thinking about is what are the extent of the injuries, and they're starting to pile up a little bit. great. But on the plus side, we did see Jermaine Jones. We lost 4, but we gained 1. And he was previously on the injury list, so he's playing. It's a good start. Come on, Rogie. Thanks, Trev. Thanks for being here, mate. Thanks, Mason. Appreciate you sending that. Thank you, Rogue Riot. Thank you, everyone there. Scoring shot showed that at least we got the ball forward regularly. Agreed. Again, I'd love to have seen some stats on clearances and inside 50s, just so we know how far off we were, because we definitely got beaten at the stats. G'day, Ben. Am I worried? If you're referring to the game generally, the only thing that worried me is potential injuries. And Hoff that would hurt, really hurt, because he's at a point where he can actually improve our team as well. So we'll see. I'm a little bit worried about that one, but fingers crossed. But yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Unlucky man, maybe next year. No, I'm not at that point yet. And I go for the Perth Demons for West Coast Eagles are the best asking. So cool, guys. I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for being here. I don't know if I'll do this next week because the game's at 4. But look out for Eagles content on True Eagle. Look out for a round summary of this game soon. I don't know if I'll get it up today, your time. So we'll see. But thank you very much, and I'll see you next time we do this. And I always say goodbye and then realize it takes a minute to actually stop the stream. La 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 la. Do 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 do.